Welcome to Team Fortress TV. This is Admirable. We got Ryushi with me. We got DavidTheWin on the camera. It's just progressing towards the early evening here in Europe, but we are getting things underway for hours and hours of TF2 coverage here for this Challengers Cup hosted by Team Fortress TV. We're still in the sort of open bracket stage. We're looking to find 4 teams that we can send forth to that invite bracket coming up next Sunday. And they'll all be fighting out for $1,500 stumped up by Razer. And the whole thing is run through the Razer Arena. So, just let's start off with the show with some appreciation for Razer and for Gaming Grids there in Twitch chat. Put some hearts in there. Whatever emote makes you feel love, throw it in there. Ryushi, are you feeling love today?
Yeah, I'm feeling love for Razer. Love for CF2, as always. Yeah, so I got a bit of love going on, as always.
Did I read somewhere that you're planning to play this season?
Yeah, I've been playing for the past 4 seasons. But
Tell me
this
about
time
your
I'm
adventures.
actually playing a real class, so I'm not playing medic anymore.
I was about to say, are you playing medic?
No.
Clearly on a different wavelength here, Ryushi. You are in medic denial. It's the boss in the game.
I can't do it anymore. It's been 3 years of playing medic competitively, and I can't do it anymore. I've got to play something different, so I'm now playing soldier and missing all my shots.
On to the task at hand. We're into the quarterfinals here. They call it round 3 on the Razer website there if you're following along. There are 4 games coming up now. MSH plus 6 versus Blue Heavy Esports. Foreskings versus Lego. I think that might be on stream 2. Unsure about that.
Yeah. No, not that one.
Oh, they went for the Russians. They went for the Russians. Yeah. MSH plus 6 is the game on there then. But we're going to be casting Danger Dogs by TF2Pickup.net versus Planet Express. And there is another game happening. Kritzberg for defense versus Gams Jaga Esports. Oh my god, I murdered that. But Kritzberg for defense is the Polish super team. Is that an oxymoron? I don't know. But we're going to be casting Dogs versus Planet Express. And they have all readied up in the actual website. So the server is launched for us. So we're going to be able to head on over to the STV now. DavidTheWin has just pasted it in. And this all happens automatically thanks to the Razer Arena. The hard work put in by Dilusive and his team. This is like the caster's dream, man. We don't have to do anything, Ryushi. The information just comes to us.
Yeah, and people are actually there on time as well, which is a lot different to ETF12 Premiership.
Whoa. Getting a little bit salty there, son?
No, just, experience from casting.
I think the Prem have actually been really good about their punctuality and stuff.
They were
the last couple of
season,
seasons.
Yeah, they were. They were last season. But
do you want to issue an apology then to the players of the Premiership?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Premiership's changed a lot recently, so I'd say, nowadays Premiership, maybe they turn up on time, but the old Premiership,
yeah, those guys
before games started. Classic that is.
Then, of course, you had to change servers 10 times until Ips was happy.
It wouldn't be the same without him.
I'm loading up the game. I feel like I'm loading up my playing config instead of my casting config. But I'm about to find out if I've made a horrible mistake here. Bear with me. But it should be a good game. Like, we have Dogs playing in Prem. Planet Express tried to qualify for Prem, but just missed out. So it's going to be an intense battle. Maybe they'll be looking for a moral victory here. If they win over Dogs today, they can say, we should have been Prem. It's too late now.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually casted the Dogs game with Molesto, so that was... It was a pretty good game because they played versus Lego to qualify for the Premiership spot. And even though the roster is basically completely different to any Dogs we've seen in the past, Kratos, the only player who's still there, and he's now playing Demoman. It was pretty... They look pretty strong, actually. They look pretty strong. I haven't seen much of Planet Express, but I know of pretty much everyone on that roster, I think, except for Neo. And they look strong as well. So yeah. I mean, this could be a pretty close game.
That's kind of interesting, actually, because Sheepy is the only original member of Planet Express, if you remember them from a couple of seasons ago. Was a team captained by Flushy, but Sheepy has he's taken the name back. Maybe he's taking credit for it, I don't know. But yeah, we've got these two sole survivors, Kratos and Sheepy, putting together entirely new teams here for the new season. And there's so much money available in this cup. It may actually be more prize money available in this one cup than there is in the entire season of ETF12. I know I'm exaggerating a little bit when you do the conversion rate, but it's just still pretty impressive. And you know, this is all part of the building hype towards matchmaking being released. We're going to be trying to put on as many tournaments as we can and raise the bar competitively. So there's never been a better time to play TF2, especially at the top level. So many competitions happening.
Yeah, absolutely. The hard work done by a lot of Team Fortress TV members that I read about in Slack and don't participate in at all. So big props to them for doing all that work that I'm able to benefit off by casting games that are pretty damn good.
I'm going to give you a little roster rundown here for Danger Dogs by TF2Pickup.net. Skeege is going to be playing Medic, so he's back from a little bit of hiatus after getting dropped from Reason in favour of Nox. I don't think anyone could be salty about that. Nox is pretty good. Kratos and I playing Demo. We played Scout in the previous season, or a season before that. He played Medic in the last season. We also see Zub here along with Calho, and Calho is someone who hasn't played in a couple of seasons either, but obviously well-known Portuguese roamer. He really perfected that black box style about 2-3 seasons ago for The Last Resort. Now we have a couple of scouts here who are kind of unknowns in some senses. You got Zany, who has made waves in Highlander playing Sniper, but has also been playing Six's Scout. And Tonmas, I don't know much about it. David's just telling us he got 46 headshots even. 46 headshots in one game of Viaduct. Is that Highlander or Sixes, David? In Sixes,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty
He got something like, yeah, I think that was the game I casted. He got a ridiculous amount of frags on Viaduct and just absolutely carried them. Didn't play Scout once, just perma-sniped.
What do you know about Tonmas, or the player
Absolutely
who's playing
nothing.
here about Tonmas?
He's Finnish.
Is it Tommy or is it
plays
Thomas?
Scout. No. Tommy's on the other team. He's another Finnish.
There's a couple of Tommies.
Yeah. No, Tonmas is Tonmas. Again, Finnish, again, Scout main. I don't really know where he's come from. I think he's sort of been hanging around sort of Div 2, Div 1 sort of for some time, but I don't think he's ever sort of made into Prem.
The Planet Express, Ross, take me on a journey here.
Yeah, well, I know we're going to be having Screw B on Medic. He is an American, so he's going to be playing on over 100 ping. So let's hope that doesn't affect his ability to pop any Ubers. And then I think we have, is it Eek on demo? He's normally their demo, I think. Again, sort of a varying sort of high player, been playing in high for quite some time. We're going to be having Mookie and Neo on Roma and Pocket, respectively. Mookie, obviously, from that season in Prem, does some fantastic jumps. Did pretty well in Prem, I think. Is that right?
Mookie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed his debut in Prem. In that, was it Hypander team or Hildreth team?
I think it was Hypan. Oh, yeah, whatever Hildreth's team was called at the time.
He was bringing some fresh Highlander soldier styles to Sixes. Disappeared after that.
Interesting. And then on Scouts we have Tommy and Sheepy. Sheepy, obviously, everyone knows for his fantastic voice when he does casts and his inability to be to post on ETF12. And Tommy, again, another sort of Highlander player that I've sort of known around for quite some time. I see him playing Sniper a lot, so I think if anyone's going to be sniping on this team, I would have assumed it would be him. But that's sort of all I know about Planet Express. A couple of new faces, a lot of new faces on the team for a Prem team, but obviously they didn't make Prem, so they are going to be looking good in high, though, I think.
Who's Neo?
I don't know.
Where's he from? There's a French guy called Neo that plays for Top 5 Rocket.
That's the one I don't know, unfortunately.
Twitch chat are offering us some information here. They're telling us that Tonmas is some Highlander nerd. So obviously, he's going to be good. I love the Highlander to Sixes crossover and vice versa. But maybe they can tell us a little bit about Neo. Drop some knowledge on us, please. Just looking at the in-game chat here, wondering what the hold-up is. But we do indeed have 12 players on the server. I must mention again that over on twitch.tv/teamfortress.tv2, you can catch Beater, Twiggy, and Onkaya bringing you coverage of the Russians game, Serpent versus, or whatever they're called, MSH+6 and the Razor, but they're called Serpent and ETFTL now. Against the Onage squad team, whatever nickname they're going under in Razor. It's all very confusing. I believe that's the game they're covering anyway. And then in the next round, there will be 2 games streamed on each stream, and then the round after that, I'm not sure. I believe we're going to play out the full tournament bracket, even though the top 4 teams go through. I think they kind of want to seed them a little bit, is what I'm guessing here. So we might get like a final and a bronze final streamed at the same time as well. Is that right? Someone could tell me. David?
I haven't a clue.
David doesn't know. He wasn't listening. What a cocksucker.
But we've definitely got 2 games. 2 games, best of 3s, on both streams, I think, right? Definitely got that.
Yeah, mate, every game's a best of 3 now, which is what I love about this tournament. Is that, I know it's single elimination, boohoo, but like, you're getting a fair run at it here, best of 3 maps, you know. You're not just going to get unlucky and lose in a best of 1 and be out of the tournament. So it's also very entertaining for the viewers as well, because you get to see that progress. You might have a bad map in the first map, but you can dig deep, you can come back. We do know the maps as well. The way these tournaments work is that the maps are preset. So it's going to be, well, I believe they are anyway, it's going to be Process, Granary, and Gullywash. Gullywash the decider, of course, and we're here in Process right now, just waiting for the teams to decide it's time to go. I see Eek is now ready. But I wish we could point the finger of blame at one player here, Ryushi. Who is it that's holding the show up?
Well, I know it says Danger Dogs are ready for battle. Mookie, Neo, and Eek have all readied up, so it must be someone on Planet Express who has not yet readied up. But I don't know who it is, because we can't tell. I'm going to blame it on Sheepy, because he's an easy target.
I'm curious as to which soldier is going to be playing Pocket. I actually see Zub running the gunboats in warm-up. I'm trying to find Calho here.
Played Pocket for them in the qualifiers.
He's running gunboats though, so it's going to be double
I think
aggression.
They were both running gunboats, but Calho is the more heel-oriented soldier in that sense, so he pockets. But they're both running gunboats, so it's nice and aggressive, and they like to get pushed forward and do jumps and things.
It's interesting because, like, you know, they're both definitely traditionally roaming soldiers. I wonder what their chemistry is going to be like with Skeege, or is he going to be relying on Kratos to pocket him a little bit? You know, Kratos is kind of a little bitch when he plays Demo Man. He wouldn't be the most aggressive. I think he kind of knows he's not the best Demo Man, and he's smart enough to not put himself in tough situations. You know, like sometimes on mid, you just see him like not even trying to roll out if he's going up against Kadis or things like that. So I'm sure it'll work well. Kratos was warming up the pipes right now. He hit 0 of 4 there against the scout. It's a good omen.
Well, from what I saw, Kratos was he was mostly sort of playing the pocket demo man, but he was either going crazy aggressive or playing like a little bitch.
Yeah, there's no middle ground.
Yeah, basically. But I believe David just told us that they're going to be going live soon. But it doesn't look like it's happening at the moment.
Sure it will. Believe.
Oh.
It's a 90-second delay there you have to consider. And I guess that was almost like 70 seconds ago. Yeah. So David says, 20 seconds now. I've got an incredible grasp on time. Did you see that?
Yeah, no, that was...
But if you have just joined us here, this is the Challengers Cup hosted by teamfortress.tv on the Razor Arena, run in conjunction with Razor, who have supplied $1,500 there. Gaming grids as well. Shout out to those guys who developed the whole system. We are about to go live, and it is Danger Dogs by TF2Pickup.net versus Planet Express. Ryushi, take me to the first mid.
Okay, well, going to be watching Calho fail his rollout a little bit, but I want to focus more on the dead man. So Kratos walking to middle mostly, not really playing too aggressively. Eek already there, putting up some good sticks around there to try and get some damage out. Not really doing anything at the moment, and now the rest of both teams sort to come in. A big high jump on from one of the red soldiers, not quite sure which one that is. He's going to be trying to get onto Sheepy, takes him down, but he's taking a lot of damage for it. Now red, they're sort of stacking up around their own crates, trying to get across, trying to get aggressive, trying to take that high ground. Blue is losing a lot of health, and now, yeah, Mookie, Neo both going down as well. Eek also down. Scrooby running for his life with a scout partner, and I think he's going to get away. I say that, there's going to be a big jump from Kratos trying to go forward. No, he pushes out and decides he's going to start to cap the second point. So, pretty standard middle from Dogs there. They sort of play around themselves, don't take too much damage, then take high ground and just force Planet Express back. And now they're getting onto last, actually. The Ubers are going to be popped off. It is not quite ready. Scrooby, does he drop that?
Didn't even have it, mate. I don't think he had it.
Oh, he had 98%.
Rest in peace. Spam your +2s in chat. Medic down right now, and it's just a paper exercise here for Dogs. They just have to clean up the 4 versus 2 right now. I don't think they're gonna drop the ball on this one, and now they stack the point just as Screwball respawns, but it's too late. It's gonna be 1-0 to Danger Dogs there, and that was a very straightforward round for them. Kalu with that first pick on middle, like, jumped straight into Sheepy's face. I think we gotta watch him again in this middle.
Yeah, definitely. He beefed his rollout a little bit, but let's see what he's going to be able to do again on middle. If he can get that entry frag, then that's going to be big, I think. Go high, not get anything done, backs himself away, and now we see Red sort of really trying to get across point, take the high ground, but it's not happening at the moment. Neo's going to be the first to die, and with Calho followed up afterwards. Now Kratos going down as well. Mookie down, so frags happening all over the point. Red are sort of grouped up a little bit, but it is going to be sort of they're just changing spam. Nothing happening at the moment. Thomas goes in, takes down Eek. Now getting onto the rest of the team, takes down Tommy, goes for the scout. Is going to back off from the 1v1. The rest of his team comes to back him up now. Thomas, how many kills was that?
4. He could have got the 5th onto Sheepy as well if he wanted, but he let him get out. It was fucking 4, David. I can see it on the fucking HUD, man. Don't tell me it was 3. Literally 4.
Well, it looks like Dogs. They tried to commit a bit to the second point without their respawns, and Planet Express defended quite well. Red Uber gets popped off really early, and now in comes Blue Uber. Zoob is going to be the one to go down. Calho getting picked off. There's no soldiers left up for the Dogs roster, and one of these scouts is in danger of getting picked off in PC, but no, he's going to be able to get himself away and meet up with the rest of his team. Kratos trying to spam out that choke point, stop Blue from coming in. He's going to pause the medic for a little bit, but not. The rest of Blue are already in and already capping that point. So a really nice defense on second and retake into mid by Planet Express there.
They're moving forward now, having taken control of middle. They're not. They're kind of reluctant to push too quickly, and they don't have charge, obviously, and it is 6 on 6. They're not even going to peek here. Looks like they want to send Mookie alone into the flank. No, they're just content actually to sit on middle. I think one of them's going to off-pass to Engineer, and we might see a level 3 here on middle, Highlander style. But now it's actually going to be Danger Dogs who take the initiative, and they got to Uber early here. It's just 2% away for Screwball. He gets his charge this time, and he's going to be able to pop off to try and save his teammates. Tommy's already gone down, but they found 2 frags off the back of that. Tonmas and Calho going down on the Danger Dog side. And again, they're kind of reluctant to push here, even though they have man advantage. Let's go. Neo's jumping in. He's making space. They've got Mookie pushing through upper PC as well. He might be able to catch Skeej off. Skeej catching a little bit of that spam at the rollout, and that's surely going to be enough to force them out. Calho does kill off Mookie though in the lobby, and still our blue team, Planet Express, they're just about now getting onto that high ground, but it could have ended poorly for them. Sheepy cleans up Siani, and it seems like they've done enough here to earn this point.
Yeah, they seem really reluctant to push. They had man advantage. They could have just gone in deep for it, but really taking that slowly. It works out for them in the end, but I think that's just coming off the back of a couple of good 1v1s there. But now it looks like, yeah, Dogs, they're going to be moving out. They're coming up through this lower area. They have the Uber, and they know they have a slight advantage. It's only going to be a little bit, though. The Uber gets completely denied by Tommy, who on the point destroys that Ubered soldier from being able to get there. And now the blue Uber gets countered now. And Planet Express are coming forward. Sheepy is going to get the frag onto Skeej. That is going to be huge. And with Calho going down now, Zoob tries for the flank, gets himself a double kill onto Tommy and Sheepy, so there's no scouts up for Planet Express. And with Thomas trying to peek into the lobby and trying to do some damage, he's actually going to take down Eek. with help from his team, Mookie has picked up the sniper rifle as he, as the rest of his team tried to push in. Neo's going to pick himself up a double kill, and now Tsini is the only one left alive. Dueling a sniper, 1v1, is going to rotate back towards the point. Saves the point at the moment. Nice respawns from the rest of Danger Dogs, and they are defending the point at the moment, but no. Tsini just edges off the point just at the last second and gives Planet Express their first round.
We do indeed have a game on our hands. There's still 24 minutes, 20 seconds remaining to be played here. We're going to that third middle. And I'm watching Kratos. He's just taking a stroll here through the meadow on the way to middle. Meanwhile, his opposite number, Eek, is already in. He's doing these artillery stickies all the way from his rock to the enemy rock. He's trying to tag the scouts and take Tsini's buff away. Now he's starting to move forward. But it's going to be the soldiers of Danger Dogs trying to initiate, but we just see Planet Express trying to hold their own crate here. They're not really moving too far forward. Mookie goes behind though. Sheepy kills Akalo, and Screwball with the big crossbow kill onto Kratos is really opening things up here, and it seems like Danger Dogs are going to be able to escape with 3. And again, I just feel like if Planet Express really went for it at that moment where they had the advantage, that could have been a wipe there, but Danger Dogs, they got off lightly, I thought.
Yeah, and now they're actually going to sort of be able to be in a position to defend this. Yeah, with Mookie going to get some good jumps in, but Tomnas shooting him out the air, denying everything that he's going to try and do there. And now Planet Express, they back themselves away straight away. They know they've got Uber disadvantage. They know they've got man disadvantage. They don't even want to be around second point. They're going to back themselves away and actually sort of opening the door for Danger Dogs to look for a push here. They're playing really close to Shoke, but it doesn't look like they're content to push in at the moment. They know there's going to be respawns up from Mookie, who has actually picked up the sniper rifle. See what he's going to be able to do on this midpoint, see if he can get himself a pick, push, and allow his team to push into second. Or at least threaten to push into second, because it doesn't look like Planet Express are comfortable pushing at the moment.
He's working the angle here towards Choke, so the way that Eek has just been trying to trade stickies with Kratos there, it could end poorly for Kratos if he peeks again. Like, they don't know that he's playing sniper yet. Like, they know he went down, he hasn't fired a shot. He's just charging up. His little laser beam is going to be visible soon. His dot, it's on the wall now if anybody's paying attention. But there's a counter sniper. He just sees the head. But he catches a body shot himself. But luckily, the heels of Screwball are there. And now it's turned into a sniper versus sniper duel here. It's Tsini versus Mookie. I know what I would favour in this situation.
Yeah, you, of course... Have you played against Tsini or played with Tsini? Because I know you've played a bit of Prem Highlander.
Probably, maybe not an official, but definitely played against him a couple of times. I just hide from snipers, man. I don't even get involved. I'm like, there's a sniper up, I'm gonna stay here behind this wall. That's Highlander.
Fair enough. Well, we are, of course, stalemated as a classic on process. 2 snipers up, neither of them hitting shots at the moment. Slowed the game down a little bit, but with the score being 1-1, both teams know that they've got to try and push. They've got to try and find entrances, and with Kratos is playing really close to that choke point. His medic's a little bit further away. He does sort of keep peeking in. That could be a chance for Planet Express to jump in and just absolutely destroy Kratos before his medic can even get near him to pop off the Uber. But they don't really look comfortable taking it. They're not. Both teams just content to spam a bit at the moment and try and just wait for their snipers to find a pick.
A shout out to our boy Buttnose in the downtime. Oh, Neo catches a little headshot there. He's down to 12 health. He needs an arrow from Screwball. Screwball, wake up! Neo's standing in the corner here. He's begging for health. Are they going to spam him out? Tsini is now killed off Mookie. Neo jumps out, gets that arrow. And that could have been 2 down right there. But luckily, nobody realised Neo was just standing in the corner. The communication didn't seem to be there. But with that man advantage, we're going to see Danger Dogs walking in right now. And oh, we've already dropped Zub on entry. Skeege has just popped his charge here. And he's had to back out, but they know it's about Uber. They're just trying to take up position accordingly. But who's going to initiate now? Surely. Let's go. Planet Express, get in there. Zub's still dead. You have a 1-man advantage. You're going to force to sag someone, and Neo's going to go, and he's trying to go onto the sniper, but his first rocket is very wide. And he's going to end up paying for that one with his life. Zub's respawned, and he's in onto Screwball. He's separated the heels. He doesn't even need to land the second rocket as Screwball just craters right there. And Planet Express end up with a car crash push. And I think it was just down to execution there. Like, they were right to go, but didn't hit the shots on entry, didn't protect their medic. And Danger Dogs have emerged victorious in this fight, at least.
Ryushi just respawned heavy, walked all the way into the enemy PC and just dies. I'm not quite certain what he was planning on doing, because he was never going to be there for that push. So he only ends up there at the end of the push. Maybe they thought they were definitely going to hit that and then be able to push into last with a heavy, but whatever, it doesn't work. Sini's still running the sniper rifle. Danger Dogs, they have control of middle. There's no counter sniper this time for Planet Express, so if Sini can hit a shot, which, you know, he did in that last push, I think he got a nice little headshot onto Tommy there.
Big Skeege is about to get crits in about 8 seconds here. And it looks like they want to work their way through the sewer. They've got the sniper here as well, so they're going to try and go far left. And it's the most covered area, but already Mookie sees them coming. They don't know it's crits yet. Now he's going to pop off. Crits launched forward here, trying to snipe somebody. Any frag would be good right now. But they have just killed off the demo man. Eek goes down. They've got Tommy playing spy right now here for Planet Express, but Sheepy finds a piece of lead lodged in his skull as Sini kills him off. So it's really looking grim for Planet Express. Even though the crits wasn't that effective, they just seem to crumble there. And Sini close range headshot onto Tommy. This is just absolutely brutal. The crits wasn't that great, but the sniper, oh my god. Those are the crits I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Now they're trying to work their way in left side, but Zoob gets dropped by a sticky trap from Eek on the doorway, so they back themselves away. Sini is going to find a headshot onto Scroob, though. That is going to be huge now with no medics and no heals up for Planet Express. All Danger Dogs have to do is just push with this 100% Uber advantage. Crit Screeg advantage, sorry, of course, Skeege did not die. So they're going to be looking to find as many frags as they possibly can with this Crit Screeg. And if they can't find any frags, at least make Danger Dogs back up in the thing. They're going to find the sentry gun. It's going to be a level 3, but it is eventually going to go down to the spam from Calho. Kratos also picking up Tommy with the crits. Crits has now faded though, but with a player down and a heavy coming in as well. Zoob instantly goes down though, so that heavy lasted not a long time at all. And now Planet Express, they're finding frags all over the place. There's only 3 up, Kratos, Skeege and Sini, but with Sini finding a headshot that equalizes the numbers. Kratos going down now. Sini, can he find anything else to stop the push from Planet Express? No, gets pain trained down by Mookie. Skeege, however, made it all the way back to his midpoint, but Planet Express gained themselves a 2nd point and a slight Uber advantage.
That was a really solid defense coming up from Planet Express. You know, the sentry gun, the hard counter to crits really, because it doesn't take the critical damage. They managed to weather that crit storm, and now they're continuing to push on here into middle. And it's only really Calho who's holding forward here, so there's not going to be much of a contest for the point as Danger Dogs just back out. But they have the crits. I think they're kind of hoping that they'll bounce up on the point. The crit sticky comes in. The Uber gets popped off by Screwball, but Tommy was behind him and he doesn't get saved. But they are going to leave ×4 to cap there. They're still pushing ahead though with Neo. They don't know what they want to do here and they end up losing 3. They probably could have just held there and capped the point and waited for a better fight, but they tried to do both things at once. And Screwball running backwards there is going to get caught by a long range rocket from Calho, and that was just another car crash push coming up. Planet Express, man, they're holding their heads in their hands. They're like, where did it all go wrong? They keep losing players now as well. It's Tommy playing sniper there from the respawn going to get shut down. And it's just Eek and Screwball on last. Sheepy's respawn, but they're about to face the full force of 6 Danger Dogs players plus crits. We're going to see Zoob jump in to create a little space. Kratos starts shooting off those crit stickies. Eventually gets one onto Mookie as he lunges himself forward into that right hand door. And another solid round coming up from Danger Dogs, but I think we lost Ryushi for a second there. Are you back with us, buddy?
Yeah, sorry, I timed out a little bit there. Not quite sure what happened, but I did just see the end of that push. So yeah, Danger Dogs find themselves a 2nd round. Coming into this next middle, Admirable, what's going to happen on this middle?
I'm watching Mookie coming in pretty fast. He's thinking of stealing the enemy kit, but he doesn't even bother himself. He still had such a buff there. Now Calho is going to juke into the blue PC here. He's just waiting for his moment. Now he's jumping in. He's looking to get in onto Eek, but isn't doing much here. He's being kept at bay by the scouts. Neo actually ends up going down first here, so that's a man down for Planet Express. But they have good position on the point. They have control of the high ground as well, but Skeege wants to come forward and contest. They just smell that blood in the water. The sharks are circling underneath here. And Now it's just Sheepy, last man alive. He's trying to get onto Skeege, gets into 30, but can't connect the final shot before Tonmas issues him a ticket to the spawn queue along with the rest of his teammates. Now Neo on the respawn, is he going to go for the fast rollout here? Looks not to be so. He's just going to sit back and they're going to regroup with 6 on last, but they will have to endure a full Uber charge coming up from Skeege and Danger Dogs.
Yeah, they're going to run the Sentry Heavy and Sniper from their off classes, so they're pretty defensive there and hoping it's going to work. But yeah, Calho did a ton of work on that middle. Sort of, as you said, he got bullied out by the scout, but then comes in from behind and gets a big ton of damage onto this sort of combo of Planet Express and then gets some kills as well. But the Uber's coming in onto last. They're going to be trying to focus down as many players as possible. The Demo Man is really low. Eek is going to be the first to die, and now they're really far from the other side. There are 4 players going into Panic Room here, trying to catch out as many players as possible. There's going to be a little bit of damage onto that sentry gun, but it is staying up alive for as long as possible. The Heavy spamming out so much. Danger Dogs just can't get on the point, and they're all at half health. In fact, Scribbles even managed to get his Uber in this time that the Sentry and Heavy bore. There's going to be respawns coming up soon for Neo, and Tommy's up in 10 seconds as well. As there's still 2 soldiers behind them in Panic Room. There's going to be a soldier going on. He's trying to get onto Screwball, sorry. Doesn't manage to get him, and the point eventually gets capped out. But what was happening on that last point, Admirable? What?
That was bizarre. They just came in and like sheltered under the blue spawn door. Like Skeege was just standing there with his back to the spawn, but nobody was coming out. And eventually when someone did peek, they got obliterated. But they just seemed to survive long enough there. And I mean, Planet Express didn't really force the issue, and eventually they lost that war of attrition. But we're on to the 5th mid here. Danger Dogs with a commanding lead. Calho tries to jump in and take the kit, but he's ended up... I think he took both kits there, in fact, but it's going to be Planet Express initiating as they just send both soldiers in high, and the scouts try and push across the point. They've only found Calho so far, and they've lost Mookie and Neo. They need to continue to chase for frags here, or just get the hell out of here. And it looks like they've decided to go forward with Eek and Scrooby, but Sheepy is juked around now. He's coming just as the fight is looking to slip totally from their hands here. It's Sheepy, the last man alive, but he's not going to be able to get anything done. And like the aggression is coming out from Planet Express there, but the coordination is slightly off, or they're just not finding the frags. They're trying to make it happen, but you need to. There's only 12 minutes left, and they're what? How many rounds down?
2 rounds down. I don't know. They just don't seem to be comfortable with aggression whatsoever. They just sort of try and wait and try and flank from what we've seen them playing at the moment. There is going to be a sniper up though. That's going to be Mookie trying to peek forward out of that one door, but it's not going to be happening. Doesn't manage to find any shots, and they've got an engineer up because of course Scrooby did manage to die on that point. But the Uber comes out once again through middle. It's going to be Kratos, a solo Uber onto Kratos. Now in comes a soldier as well to assist, but Kratos has already got the frag onto Screwball, and with that, I think that should open up the rest of the point. There's going to be no heals on this Heavy. Mookie with the 300 health. He is surely going to be focused down pretty easily. He's actually taken no damage so far, putting out a ton of damage onto the enemy players. Seeing he's going to try for it and fail, but now with Eek, the only one left alive, surely he can't 1v3 the enemy combo, can he? He's going to try and do a bit of damage. Is doing quite a lot of damage, but eventually goes down to Sub, and Danger Dogs find themselves a 4th point. So yeah, they're playing a lot better than Planet Express, I want to say. Planet Express just not comfortable at all with any sort of aggression. They don't seem to quite know what to do with it.
I wish the score had stayed 3-1 because my HUD is so broken. Danger Dog's name is so long that 3 overlaid on top of D looks like Banger Dogs. So I'd like to rename them Banger Dogs. But now it's 4-1 as we go on to the 6th middle here. We do see Mookie going fast behind into the enemy PC. He's about to reappear, but Sini has him contained there. And we're going to see Danger Dogs taking it to Planet Express. They're being ruthless here. They're going straight in, not even giving them a second to prepare themselves. Mookie jumps in eventually, but he's been pistoled down there in combination with Tonmas and Zub. It was definitely a team effort to finish off that last frag. Screwball doesn't manage to survive another middle, and it's a huge Uber advantage here for Skis. They're already pushing in. They've got the spawn camp set up on last, and I think they must have heard that from the death cam because they've all decided to avoid that door, but the combo is set up on top. Kratos is being contested here by Mookie, but Mookie whipping the rockets. The Uber comes in from Skeege, and already they have 3 frags here, 4 frags on last. It's definitely going to be another round.
Yeah. I don't know what Mookie was doing there, but he managed to launch Kratos around the point towards his medic who was Ubered, so Kratos could get flashed and saved. It's like the worst possible rocket you could have hit onto Kratos there. I'm guessing he's not feeling particularly happy with themselves, but the score being now 5-1 with 10 minutes left in the game. I mean, theoretically there's enough time, but with the way Planet Express are playing at the moment, I don't think it's going to be happening. It's just a question of how well Danger Dogs can play this middle. Kratos walking to middle seems to be the strat that's working. Eek is not able to do anything at mid. Tommy, though, is going to be coming in and finds a first frag onto Zoob, so Planet Express maybe got a little bit of life left in them, doing a bit of damage. Kratos is going to be down now, but Eek and Sheepy all fall at the same time. Dogs, though, they're down to 3 members. And there's still 2 soldiers, Mookie and Neo, with the sniper alive for Planet Express. Yeah, Planet Express, they take the middle, and Skeej and Calho have to back themselves away, all the way to last as well. They're going to be able to keep that Uber, but they do have a 30% disadvantage. And if Planet Express are aggressive for once in this game, it could work out for them, and they could get aggressive and try and catch out Dogs before they have their Uber. But it doesn't look like it's going to be happening as Dogs move themselves into lobby, playing super aggressive themselves. They know they've got a bit of a disadvantage, but it is being equalised right now as Skeet has 95%, so never mind. Planet Express not able to get the respawns in time. They're still running the sniper on Tommy, so we're going to see if they can edge him into lobby and try and find a pick onto the close players of Danger Dogs, who are sitting pretty close to lobby now.
5-1 to Banger Dogs right now. 9 minutes. Less than 9 minutes left on the clock. It's still enough time for a comeback if, you know, there was to be a real sea change here for Planet Express. It is still mathematically possible. They're in position here, ready to lay down an assault onto last. They have a sniper as well, though. Tommy is going to work his way in on the bottom left. He's charging up a shot here. He's just looking for any frag. Any frag's good right now. You just need that entry. Meets the soldier close range, but ends up hitting the body instead of the head. And Zoob is going to finish him off with 2 quick rockets, but Mookie gets the revenge. And it was 5-on-5 for a second there before Sini found Sheepy with a body shot. And it might actually be Danger Dogs who start to move forward here. But they don't need to do anything right now. They're in a winning position. They could just park the bus for 8 minutes.
Yeah, I saw Calho do what looked like the beginnings of a skip jump towards the lower point of lobby, but then it almost looked like someone yanked on his chain and said, nope, we don't need to push, just stay back. And he backed himself away. But there is actually going to be a spy on from Tommy. He does manage to find his way in to the last point. No one really looking at him at the moment. I think he's running the cloak and dagger, so he can stay invis for as long as he needs. No one sort of really looking around, but Skeej's been playing Highlander, last seen at Deutschland, playing as a Highlander medic for fair enough. He's going to be uncloaking now. Tommy trying to make his way onto Skeej is just going to beef it and gets shut down pretty easily. So now Danger Dogs know they have an advantage, but again, as you said, they have no reason to push, so why would they? There is going to be a soldier trying to get in. Actually, the Uber's going to get popped off in lobby. Both teams flashing around. I say flashing. Actually, Blue, they're going to back themselves away. They force Uber. They try and get out alive, and I think they are going to make it away for this. No, Neo actually just gets caught by a nice little juggle from the soldiers. Oh, the huge plays.
They're trying to force it, but they've ended up losing a player there. It's just Eek and Screwball. Screwball comes in, tries to get the Uber, but Sheepy claims the frag, and Planet Express are still going here, but they've managed to turn it into 3-on-3, and they've got both their scouts here in good health. They just need to focus fire, take down Kalu and play the point. They're just going to be able to stack it, and they managed to get around there. So now it's just a 3-round game, and there is like 6-7 minutes left. They can do this, baby.
They can absolutely do this. They just need to play it clever and play it slow like they did then, and that seems to work for them really well. See what's going to happen on this middle, though. I mean, you know, it's down to if they can win middles. I think definitely they can't really give up a middle now. And last time they worked alive, they kept their soldiers alive for a long time, and Tommy hit some sick headshots. He's not going to be on sniper this time. So once again, it's going to be Danger Dogs trying to get aggressive. Double soldier bomb onto that red crate is going to be doing a ton of damage to the 4 players of Blue. Oh my God, Blue just get absolutely destroyed in that lower area. They lose 3 players quickly, and the rest are so weak. Eek and Mookie, the only ones sort of on any health, but both on less than half health. Both going to be caught out here. Zini is going to pick up Mookie, does get piped down by Eek, but now Kratos cabers Eek down. Oh man, I love the fact that the caber's been unbanned this season.
Kratos has plenty of experience with it as well, and that's going to be the momentum shift. You know, just crashing into a brick wall there. Planet Express, we're trying to get things going, but they have been shut down on middle, and now Danger Dogs, you know, they can push if they want, or they can just sit back here. It is going to be cookie cutter though for both teams. Nobody choosing to off class at this moment. Here comes the Ubered push from Planet Express. Skeej flashing a bunch of players there and choke as Neo came in deep. Eek is going to pay with his life as well, so Demo Man down here, and it's only Mookie and Screwball left alive, and they're kind of behind enemy lines here. They seem to have wrapped around This is just calamitous. Danger Dog's going to get another round and find themselves on map point again. It's 6-2 here. If they get the next round, they will enact that mercy rule, and they have 5 minutes in which to find it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, it's all up to these middles. Calho and Zoob are doing so much work on these middles to do a ton of damage. Kratos, still running the walk-in rollout, does not like to do that second jump for some reason. I can't quite be sure what that is. I assume he just can't do it because, you know, I mean, it's not exactly that hard. Even I can manage to do it sometimes. Zini is going to be the first frag though, so Dogs, they find themselves with a bit of a disadvantage. Muki and Neo are going to go down to Kratos though. Kratos not able to do the rollout, but still able to do a ton of damage onto middle. And now with the soldiers jumping in, Tommy actually running that sniper rifle back at choke. He is going to hit Kratos there, but hasn't found anyone else so far on middle. And now there's a scout and a sniper up. And where is this scout? He's going to be over on that right-hand side. Maybe coming in from behind now. It's going to be Sheepy trying to find any damage that he can, combined with his sniper. It is going to be blocked point. Actually forces the Uber out of Skeege, and now Screwball is actually managed to get away and hide behind his sniper. So he's actually going to have this. They're going to be able to push into this middle point and try and get as many frags as possible with this Uber. In comes the jumping soldier, trying to do as much damage as possible, but Danger Dogs just give up the point. They're not looking to fight. They know they can't really get the Uber onto Screwball's position, and they give it up nicely there.
Mookie tries to go ahead. I'm not entirely sure what he was hoping to achieve there, since Skeege had already Ubered, but as his team Uber in, they were actually a man down cause of that, so they're looking to chase frags here, but they're just being kited by 6 red players with solid health. And now as the Uber fades, they have to try and take this fight outnumbered, but there's Neo doing a good job of stuffing them back into the rollout. He does eventually go down to Callow, but he's bought enough time for his team to cap the point. And 3 minutes 15 seconds left on the clock. Planet Express are still showing they've had some fight in them. That's going to be positive as we move towards the second and third maps, but they have almost certainly lost this one.
3 seconds left. Mookie's going to get shut down on the last point, and now he's going to find himself caught out. Sheepy and Scrooby quick to follow. Neo, the only one left alive. He tries to jump in, gets onto Skeege, does manage to hit the first rocket, blasting him up into the air, but doesn't hit the air shot. Skeege surfs it away. Second point gets capped out by the Dogs, and already they've got a really far forward push by Kratos, trying to catch anyone out at choked to see if anyone's going to jump in. Mookie, however, is just going to completely dodge it by jumping towards Sewer.
He's just chilling. He's not going to pad his stats in the next 2 minutes 25 seconds, and again he's in great position to spot out this push, but he had kind of committed himself there, so he's going to go down instantly to the focus fire of Kratos. And Zoob didn't jump out. Like, all he needed to do was get the information and jump back, but he's dead again, and his team don't have enough players up really to contest this fight. Tommy tries to go huge at PC, but gets rocketed in the face by Calio, and now they just walk back to last here, and it's just inevitable. They're trying to think about the next map as their demo man gets savagely slain by Tonmas, who's on a 5k right now in this life. It is just full throttle TF2 coming up from Danger Dogs, and they're going to make it 7-2 here and cap out. The game continues though? No, it's over. It's over. There's the logs. Show me some logs, DavidTheWin.
I think that Kratos is going to be doing the top damage. That's what I'm going to say. Before even seeing the logs, I think Kratos is going to be doing some top damage there.
Okay, opening up the logs right now. I've gone to damage per minute. It's not Kratos, it's Zoob, baby. Zoob put out 319, but check out Sini there. Playing Scout / Sniper does almost 300 DPM.
I mean, he did 8 minutes of Sniper and managed to do 3,000 damage with that. 11
headshots in 8 minutes. He's racking them up. But like his ratio is very impressive too. He and Tonmas actually 31 frags, 12 assists and only 7 deaths. He's got a KA to death ratio of 6.1, but look at Skeege, even higher than that. 22 assists and only 2 deaths. Really didn't seem to be under threat there, but he wasn't pussying out. You know, there was a lot of moments where he was very weak, but he just seemed to survive. Great job there from the Prem medic. Really seemed to be outclassing Screwball, as you might expect. But let's take a look at the medic stats. DavidTheWin has spotted something. Again, yeah, Skeege, he always has these incredibly high heal rates. His mechanics are pretty impeccable in that sense. He's put out 1,250 heals a minute. He also didn't drop any Ubers, but he had like, wow, 8 more charges, 8 more Ubers. That's pretty impressive.
That's quite a lot. Even though some of them were crits, that's still quite a lot. Also got himself the no advantages lost, so his team able to push off off their constant advantages and not really give up anything there, which I think is big. But yeah, as I said before at the beginning, Kratos sort of taking the majority of the heals, and then actually I was wrong. It was Zoop who takes the sort of pocket style heals with Calho back to the Roma. So looks like that's what they're going to be running for the season. But Neo over on the other side are a little bit more classic. They're taking 32% of the heals. Not really doing too much for it though. He didn't even top damage on his team. Mookie doing the most damage on for Planet Express. There we go.
Is, I think Mookie's a genuine talent. He just needs to die less. He can,
Always a good plan.
He can clearly do damage. He's got the DM skills, but I think he's just getting a bit frustrated. But I mean, the overall story of the game, like, look at it, 7 mids to 2. The score ends up 7-2. I feel like this game was won and lost on mid, and it was Planet Express who didn't really have an answer. But we are going to be going to map 2 right now, and it will be Granary. I think if we just retry, we'll be there. But considering how dominant Zub was there on process, Granary, of course, another map where soldiers can go big. It could be tough for Planet Express to get back into this. But I do remember, actually, you know, a couple of seasons ago when Planet Express were playing with, you know, they had Captain, Flushy, etc. They had this strategy in Granary Middle where they just sat back in their own crate and let everyone come at them. You know, the scouts and the soldiers, etc. on the high ground. And I remember they managed to beat a Somniac. So if Sheepy can channel that.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a difference between Calho and Neo and Mookie, though. I mean, sorry, between Captain being able to hit every shot in the air and Neo and Mookie not able to do that. So I think it kind of hinged a little bit on Captain being really good at Soldier, which as we've seen from him playing in top Prem Team Reason last season.
Yeah, he's alright. He's okay. He's a little bit of a bitch boy. But that's the sort of strategy he'd like. Yeah, don't push, just hold. But it is going to be Granary Pro, of course. And that will be one change from that season gone by. This map plays a little bit more fluidly, a lot more slightly wider areas on middle. But one of the main changes is the spawn times. So if you get wiped in middle, you don't necessarily have to automatically forfeit your second point. The spawns are a bit more forgiving. You can get in there and put up a bit of a fight. So even if it's like the last map, you know, where Danger Dogs are dominating the middles, that doesn't necessarily mean that Planet Express are going to get like 5-0'd here or capped out, which I think is a good thing for them. They've shown some, you know, glimmers. They managed to get 2 rounds. That's a positive. Must mention as well, Ryushi, that there is another game being casted right now, assuming it isn't over already, on teamfortress.tv too, so you can head over and check that out with Twiggy and Beater. I just got Kratos messaging me here asking, are we ready? Are you ready, Ryushi?
I'm ready.
Yeah, ready? We're ready. And I've also got Stark messaging me in Steam saying he's casted his fair share of games. Where is his mod? Well, let me throw it to Twitch chat there. If you think Stark should get a mod, I want you to put in a kappa in chat. And if you think he shouldn't get a mod, I want you to put in an L giggle. I want you to laugh at his face. Okay? And I'll monitor it, you know. Just visually. I'm kind of like the Rain Man. I can count those emotes no matter how fast you spam them. Please don't spam them, Twitch chat. I'm trying to count them here. I've got my abacus out, you know. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Hang on.
Multiple entries here from Falash.
Like 8. That's not allowed.
We got a few L giggles coming in. Some people laughing in Stark's face at the suggestion he deserves a mod sword here. Oh, El Giggle is dominating right now. Kappa, he's losing the race. I don't know, Stark. The jury is out. It's not it's not clear. Although we do see some of the mods actually stepping up for Stark. Permzilla, Demul, and Talash all think that Stark deserves Moderino. What do you think, Ryushi?
I'm gonna cast my vote.
The Sideshow with the 6L giggles.
I think it's definitely an Ellie giggle.
I'm undecided myself. Let me see. I could go and log in as the Team Fortress TV account and give a mod. You tell me what's happening in this game. I think they're going live actually. We've got time for this. This is priority.
Not quite ready yet. Everyone's just readying up at the moment.
You take me to middle and I'll give Stark mod. How about that?
But yeah, so this is going to be the second map on Granary Pro between Planet Express on blue and Danger Dogs on red. I'm going to be watching... David, will you shut up? I'm trying to cast here. I'm going to be watching Danger Dogs as they get all coming out through the sort of ramp room area now, trying to do maybe the double soldier bomb. It's going to be a soldier jumping onto that scout. Mookie is going to be going down first, but he trades with, trading with Tomness. And now Planet Express are going to get themselves 3 quick kills, which is happening at the moment. As the rest of red back themselves away. Sheepy finds himself 2. And not much happening. Skeej and Zoob, I don't think Skeej even managed to turn up to that middle. He's already backed out with Zoob. So Sheepy find himself a couple of frags, and the rest of Planet Express, a pretty easy victory for them on that middle. They get themselves 4 frags in quick succession. Losing Mookie for it, but Mookie was only the opener for the rest of his team to come in and follow him up. And now both teams have got Uber charges and looking for Planet Express to push into last. There is going to be a sniper up for Tsini, trying to work his way in up top. No, backs himself away now. But he's going to be looking for those headshots on any aggressive players from Planet Express. Really looking forward to try and work his way forward yet. Now, okay, right hand side door is being opened, but Express have figured this out and holding really far back in that left hand side over in lunchbox and kitchen. So they don't want to be pushed forward. Admirable, have you made your decision on Stark or what? Actually, I'm going to have to completely ignore your answer because in comes Skeej. He drops himself down. Sorry, in comes Mookie, drops Skeej with a good flank from Sheepy. That is going to be huge. Now, Planet Express, they know they've got to protect their medic. There's going to be players coming, looking to try and get as forward as possible onto him, but it looks like they're going to be spotted out. Skeej, Scrooby coming forward now, takes a ton of damage, does pop off his Uber at the last second. Neo trying to duel as many players as possible, but they've dropped Eek, and that is not going to be good for their push. The Uber getting completely battered away by the respawning players for Danger Dogs, and now Danger Dogs are sitting on last, comfortable with a slight Uber charge. And actually, no, they don't even have that much of an advantage because Scrooby popped his off so early there that Skeej didn't even have time to respawn and build for a bit. But it doesn't matter because Danger Dogs, they're content to push forward anyway. And the rest of Planet Express are actually really far back. Danger Dogs, they're going to cap out the point just by standing on it and just ignoring the spam coming in from Planet Express. And now Planet Express, they're still holding this yard area, but they don't really have anything that they're comfortable with. They don't have too much of an advantage, only about 5%. They've got some traps up, but there's only one scout watching that left-hand side. If Danger Dogs rush it and catch out, it's going to be Tommy. If they catch out Tommy, that could give them a huge opening flank onto the players of Planet Express, but neither team seems ready to do anything. Both just stalemating a bit, trying to trade a bit of spam across point now as Neo tries to edge his way forward, sees 5 or 6 players and backs himself away.
It's going to be Uber versus Uber here. Still 0-0. We've played about 3 minutes so far on Granary Pro. Teams jostling for position around second. And now you do see that stack coming up on the flank. And Cini outstays his welcome there in Garage. Is going to lose out to the pistol there of Sheepy. Both scouts focusing him down. And that's kind of a rookie mistake. You know, if you've played a lot of Granary, you know it's often best just to sacrifice the flank and to play around your Uber. But he tried to contest it. And he's left his team short-handed here as the Ubers get traded. We do see Neo jumping up top, trying to get into Lunchbox there, and he's drawn the attention here of Danger Dogs, but they seem to have survived just about long enough to get their spawns up. But look at the health on Danger Dogs, it's absolutely abysmal. And Sheepy has been unleashed here, he's trying to chase down Skeej. Tonmas comes in to try and deny him. Sheepy's going to back out a little bit here, but where's the rest of his team? Now Sheepy goes in, gets Skeej. Tonmas is the last man alive here, he's going to be gunned down as well. Sheepy on a 5k there. And Planet Express played that one beautifully. That was excellent execution there.
Yeah, they just sort of wait a bit, do a bit of damage, and then unleash the sheepy onto the unsuspecting players of Danger Dogs. I don't think that's going to be happening again. Danger Dogs not going to let that catch them out again this time, but sheepy with a magnificent flank there coming in and really getting a load of frags. But once again, we find ourselves in the middle point. Kratos is going to be coming out first, takes a good bit of damage onto Eek there, forcing him to drop down and get that health pack. But now the rest of Planet Express are here, going to be trying to do a little bit of aggression. Actually, Danger Dogs do manage to get onto the point this time. Zub is going to be the first to fall though, and now there's going to be scouts running across the point. Sheepy takes down Kalho, but Neo and Mookie are down, so there's no soldiers left up for Planet Express. They're trying to get across point, but they don't really have that jumping ability. And there's no soldiers actually for either team. As a lot of damage being taken on to the Danger Dogs team, but Thomas does finally manage to take down Eek. Now there's going to be just the 2 scouts left up for Planet Express, trying to do as much damage as possible. Kratos though, full health, fully buffed, trying to get in, do as much damage to Scrooby. He actually just gets meat shot down by Sheepy and Tommy. And Tommy and Sheepy are defending this against a numbers advantage, because there was no health on the scouts for Danger Dogs, but with respawns, maybe they extended a bit too far. No, they managed to catch themselves at the last second and run back to mid.
Cini had come in from behind, like they actually had more players there, but Cini was like standing behind Skeege begging for heals. But as soon as Skeege like had to heal him, he wasn't healing Kratos, he was actually in the fight. And he got focused down really quickly, but maybe if Cini had tried to get a med pack or something, I don't know. It was a tough situation, but they didn't manage to make their man advantage work. And Planet Express are already pushing through here on the left hand side. Skeege is going to take Kratos in to try and force the multi out. And he has done that, but there's no support here, and they haven't really done that much damage, so they're now looking to back off through Z, and they are going to escape. Kalho's down right now, so it's tough for them to really take that fight, but if they fight around the point here in this confined area, they can just sort of minimise the effect of that man disadvantage. So this is the right play here. They're just waiting to get 6 up again, and then they can try and decide what to do. There is a slight Uber advantage coming in here. But wow, Mookie is just going to say, that doesn't matter, we don't want to wait for that. He's going to go in and try and force the issue, but doesn't even make it past the threshold at the point there as Zub shuts him down with a rocket to the face. Kratos joining in on that slaying of a poor Finnish man. The flank gets bust open here by Kalho as he kills off Tommy, and now he's coming behind, so it's a potential pincer move here. Kalho's in behind, but his teammates are all walking away. They're too scared of the Uber disadvantage here. Skeege is telling him he doesn't have it. He's encouraging them to back out. They've lost Kratos there as well, but if they just pushed, they could have forced and backed out pretty easily. You can just spam rockets there, you can control it, but they've decided to wait until last year, and Planet Express are not even going to commit that hard. They've just gone into trade Ubers. They know the spawns are coming up, and they're going to try and regroup for a second push, and the rotation is immediate. They're already in here. They managed to get in for free on the left hand side in the attacking perspective. The blue team are looking to contest the pipes here. Planet Express, Neo is going to get gunned down by Cini though, and Planet Express are are they fizzling out here? I think. No. Screwball's left them, but now he's coming in again to heal them. They don't even need the heals, they're just basing it here. Tommy and Mookie shrekking these nerds on last. Zoo drops down onto the point to try and defend, but they just went man mode there, man. They didn't even have heals, but they still managed to win that engagement.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened. Dogs, like, both teams they just kept exchanging frags, and then eventually somehow Planet Express find themselves a good number of kills from Tommy and Mookie just doing a ton of work there. So the scouts for Planet Express doing a lot more work than the soldiers of Planet Express, but seems to be working out for them at the moment, especially. But I'm not quite sure how long it'll last on a soldier-favoured map. There's going to be Mookie once again taking that aggressive jump onto that crate for this middle, and now, yeah, Kalho just gets destroyed by both soldiers from Planet Express, and now with a numbers advantage, Planet Express are looking to push across point. Soldier's going to go super high. Mookie trying to get as much damage as possible, gets shut down by both scouts very easily, and now with a slight height advantage, Thomas is going to pick up 2 frags, looking for more. He is going to sort of finally die, because the scouts for Planet Express once again come in, find themselves a ton of frags each, cap the point as well. What hero players these scouts are.
Big Uber for both medics right now, but the territory gained by Planet Express, they're moving forward into the right hand yard, and Kratos is trying to put out some damage here, see if he gets lucky with a pipe, but he's going to back out and he's going to get buffs. Both teams just setting up for the next phase of play here, and we do see Mookie is going to come up as spy, and this is going to be interesting. Danger Dogs will be feeling like they have to push because they're 2 rounds down, but the Mookie spy is kind of ghosting in. There's a lot of damage being thrown about here. He could get spotted out, but he has managed to make his way into the point. He's crossing over there just in front of Kratos' nose. And nobody is going to be thinking about the spy here. Least of all, Skeege! He just gets backstabbed. Mookie manages to make the spy work, and that is going to be absolutely huge as long as Screwball doesn't drop here.
Huge plays by him. Now the Uber comes out of Screwball. He does drop Tommy though. Kratos is going to be able to find him with, I think, a sticky trap on point. But now actually they're committing into last. Kratos jumping super deep, trying to block out that spawn door, but he's committed way too far. Sorry, Eek committing way too far. And now with Sheepy following up, Screwball maybe going to get caught out. He does go down as well. What was that play by Planet Express? Jumping 3 players in aggressively into last, into the respawns of Danger Dogs. That was just never going to work. Mookie does manage to find a frag onto Cini, who went too far forward. Now Tommy runs in into 4 players. He's going to back himself away. Mookie also going down. A complete wipe by Planet Express, stretching themselves far too thin there, Admirable.
Yeah, the Uber only really works if you actually stay within range of your medic. I think that's a concept that a lot of players struggle with. So they jump ahead and they get shreked. They feel like they're Superman, but nope. They were just a team of Clark Kents right there. That doesn't even make sense. But anyway, they're all stacking the point right now. Skeege is here. He has charge. But is anyone going to try and go in for the force here? It looks like Zub is trying to control that upper area. Kratos manages to go down to a sticky trap. I didn't even see where that was. But rest in peace, Kratos. I think it was in the little wooden thing. And now Zub is going to push forward with Skeege. Thomas gets the flash as well to save him from Mookie. Zub's really weak here, so it's going to be on the scouts to create this space, and they have done that. Straight forward there. Cini and Thomas rushing right into Eek's face, but what? Thomas gets the pick onto Eek, then goes down, and it's only Sheepy left alive here. Skeege is going to be just able to step onto that pack, grabs it in time to save himself.
Thomas ran into fully 4 players, still manages to get the frag on Eek before he dies. What the frick just happened there? It's going to be a last point for Danger Dogs, coming off some big plays from their members there. Wait,
big members.
Last time I was concentrating, Skeege was dropping Uber on his last point. So this is a big turnaround for the Danger Dogs to get themselves that round. Planet Express going to be kicking themselves, and we are going to be paused, possibly towards the end of this round if it was a quick round.
That was a real heartbreaker right there, but yeah, the scouts just did exactly what they needed to do. They just ran in and pushed everyone together. Zub came in for the 3k, but wow, this Tonmas guy, you know, he's one to watch. I'm getting an education right here, Ryushi. This is the first time I've seen him play, I think. Yeah, this is exciting. Planet Express, you know, they've shown that they can take this to Danger Dogs. They've been 2-0 up right now. They've just lost a round, but now can they recompose themselves onto the 4th middle here? The pause has come in, but we've only played about 12-11 minutes so far, so still the majority of the map laid out before us. The play so far, though, I don't know. Would it be Tonmas? Would it be Mookie with the huge spy pick?
Or would it be Sheepy going ham?
Sheepy, pretty good too.
That happened a lot on the first 2 rounds. Not so much on the 3rd round, so Danger Dogs maybe controlling him a little bit more there. Maybe that's why they won. Control Sheepy, win games.
Can some of my mods help me out in Twitch chat? There's a guy called _sideshow. He seems to be disrupting chat. You know, I'll leave it up to your own judgment, mods, but if you need to time him out, you know, feel free. I'm waiting to see what they say. Of course, we do have that delightful delay, but we've been paused here for about 2 minutes so far. It is a best of 3, though. The 3rd map will be Gullywash if we make it that far, but Planet Express already shown they have what it takes to bring it to a 3rd map. And Thalash reports in that the _sideshow has been timed out. No problem. Thanks, Thalash. You'll be getting a bonus this Christmas, my friend.
All fall before the potato dictator.
The sideshow, you owe me $5. Ryushi, talk to me then about your TF2 aspirations this season. You're playing in a team.
I'm playing in a team in mid because with me now not on medic, I'm not allowed to go high apparently.
What does this mean though for the casting? Are you going to be available to cast? Are you going to be like Sideshow, you know, choosing esports dreams over casting dreams?
No, I'm happy to cast. Screw my team. I'm sure, like, I know at least one of them's watching, so It's nice of them to watch me, but normally they just spam me with pings when I'm busy trying to cast. So screw them. I'm gonna cast.
What do you think about a man who organises a tournament and then puts his team into the invite group? Sideshow puts full tilt through an untested team. Sure, they might have beaten Nerd Rage in the Gimmicks Guts and Glory Cup, you know, way back before I-55, but didn't even make them play off. Just throws them straight in there. Is that like a conflict of interest? Should this guy be sacked? That's what I want to know.
I think there's definitely got to be some questions raised there, and maybe some sort of inquiry. A little bit of an unpause here. I think while we're going to be back into game, it doesn't look like an unpause repause, so we are going live for this 4th round, hopefully. We've got word apparently Planet X are asking for a Merc, but nothing seems to be happening at the moment. I say that, I think, yeah. Some strange things going on at mid, but Zoob is going to be the first to fall. Calho falling immediately afterwards. Sheepy is going to trade his life, but with actually things are going equal for both teams. Dogs are down 4 players. Skeej and Kratos, the only ones left alive, but Screwball and Mookie counter them, and Mookie is going to try and take the 1v1 onto Kratos. There's a ton of damage towards him. Doesn't take any damage himself, getting that good buff up from Screwball, and now they have to back themselves away. Kratos gets the health back though, pushes forward once again, trying to reload as much as possible. Is hitting one pipe, can't hit the second pipe. Mookie now above him, hits a rocket onto Skeej, but both combos just sort of really fighting this out as long as possible. Now the respawns are going to come
Reload
in
your stickies!
from Danger Dogs and Planet Express at the same time. Everything just, once again, this mid-fight opens up once again. The Uber is going to get popped off from Screwball at the right time, but Skeej pops his off as well, and I think Planet Express, they're giving up this point. Actually, I say that, Sheepy gets a frag onto Zoob, and they find themselves flooding back into the point. There is going to be a scout behind them, onto Screwball, he's going to go down, and now with 3 down for Planet Express, Eek, the only one left alive, he's going to get shut down as well. A big wipe from Planet Express with a huge flank by, I think it was Tassini with the flank there. So yeah, Dogs eventually managed to get themselves the round. The mid, sorry. Not even the round.
Like Mookie with a real opportunity there to force the issue in that middle. Like, he was up against the demo man at close range. He should have been able to force the med at least. But Skeej managed to just juke around there. Kratos was like flailing with his grenade launcher there. Should have reloaded his stickies probably. I don't know. It just seemed like a missed opportunity to me, but it ended up well for Dogs, and now they're in control of CP4 here. They're ready to go. They want to push last. They're going up top. They're getting the buffs out. And here they come. They're going to be leading with Callow and Zoob, it looks like, but I think Eek knows it's up. He's pre-firing those double dunks, and now Skeej thinks twice about it. He's going to drop down here and Uber in with Kratos and Tonmas. And they're trying to spam up onto that heavy weapons guy. He's been called as the target, but they didn't realise there was a level 3 sentry over there on the left. And now as the Uber face, they're faced with a tough decision. They're just staying at distance here, trying to spam it down. They do get the sentry gun. Skeej claims it with his crossbow, but it seems like Planet Express have bought enough time to get their own charge up, and Skeej is very much aware of that. He's going to retreat here, and they're going to try and bait that Uber pop out from Planet Express.
Yeah, so I can't see percentages right now because my HUD is still broken. Wonderful, I love TF2 for doing this, but we're leaving Mookie as a heavy on last. Maybe actually he's going to come forward. There is going to be a soldier and a scout looking to go into last. Mookie is going to take a ton of damage. He's nowhere near point. He's going to be going down. Zoob and Thomas coming in onto last. Thomas is going to go down though to Sheepy. Is dueling 1v2. Takes down 2. Sheepy with the double kill onto Thomas and Zoob. Mookie did a bit of damage to both of them, so it wasn't quite a 1v2 with both full health, but Planet Express do hold onto the last point, but their combo has to back themselves away as Scroob and the rest of the scouts come in. Eek is going to be going down to a big jump, and the Uber from Danger Dogs, and now Danger Dogs trying to stack onto the point as much as possible. Skeej looking to try and find some Uber stores, is going to go down. Mookie with a big bomb does manage to save the point. Kratos going down as well. Now there's a scout of Thomas in, takes down Mookie, but Dogs just are not able to finish. There's going to be a soldier on the point. Zoob, it gets a frag but gets shut down so quickly. What is going on with the Dogs? They're just one by oneing into the last point here.
Kratos dribbled on that one. Him and Callow bombed in right and got that pick instantly. Focused down Eek, I think. But then they just totally ignored the scout, and so Sheepy kills off Callow, then comes in and kills Zini, who was capping the point with his back to him. And then eventually Kratos turns around having like wasted 5 stickies on doing nothing, when he could have focused on those that one scout and just won the round there and then. But they're still in the lead. They're still in control of CP4 even. And they're trying to get ready to push here, but, you know, they kind of bungled that one. They just need to take a little bit of a breather here. They're almost at full charge, but if they're paying attention... Oh, wow, they won't be aware of this, actually. There's a crits coming up. They think they have uber advantage here, but Screwball has crits right now, so if they push and they use the crits to push in here and catch the flank, it could be disastrous for Danger Dogs, but they don't seem too hurried right now. Danger Dogs want to execute a good push here, but they won't be expecting the crits for sure.
Well, I think they kind of are, because right now Skeege is standing in a not normal position to hold. So I think they must have seen the crits beam when Eek tried to push himself in. The crits actually does come in, but the Uber gets popped off by Skeege. Crit's not finding anyone, and the Uber is going to come straight into last. They're not going to find anyone, they're just going to run into the sentry. Once again, Mookie is going to be the first to fall though, as Zini manages to pick him off, so running at the sniper as well, but Kratos and Zini both getting picked off now. Now there's a soldier caught out on that last-hand point. That's going to be Calho. He gets shotgunned down by Tommy there on that engineer. And now Planet Express, they hold last once again. Not quite looking to push out though. Now they find themselves a couple of players on the point, and Dogs, they've got actually a big flank here. It's going to be Zook, going to come in from behind. Does a bit of damage to Eek, does take him down, but trades his life away. Now in comes Thomas, trying to do as much damage to 3 players. Isn't going to be able to win the fight 1v3, and does back himself away. Planet Express cap the second point, and looking to make their way out of the shutter, but they're going to be running into 4 players of red. Actually, I say that. Zini goes down. The crits comes out. Crits looking to come out as well. Screwball looking to push forward. And the crit scout is going to be the play, but Calho finds the frag onto Screwball. And just frags happening all over the map. But Admirable, I'm completely lost.
They got to go here. They just have to try and get the force onto Skeege. The crits was kind of disastrous. Neo looks to jump in there, but ends up just being shut down by Zub. Zub survives that one as well, so Skeege with a huge advantage here. And wow, you know what time it is. It's time for Mookie to play Spy. It's going to be a tricky one for him here though, because it's going to be full throttle here from Danger Dogs as they move forward with this Uber advantage. They'll be looking to push immediately, but Mookie is just ghosting in behind now. He's crossing over through the connector. He's working his way in. Mookie looking to get another med pick here onto Skeege. Skeege has no idea. He's not looking around whatsoever. He's coming in. Is he going to get him before he pops? He's got the... Yes! Gets him again! Hello!
He just runs in front of the scout. The scout doesn't even pay attention to him. What? How does he even manage that? Planet Express, they hold last with an Uber advantage this time. They're going to be looking to push as soon as Mookie respawns. What is going on with Skeege? Just does not seem to be able to hear these spies whatsoever.
Totally caught out there, Mookie with the big plays again, and eventually, you know, Skeege is going to figure it out. He just needs to be spinning around 180 all the time. But on the move forward here into the point, Tonmas goes down. So that's one of the backcapping players cleaned up. Screwball just trying to heal his players here. They're just not going to overcommit. They're not going to rush ahead with the Uber. They want to make sure they cap that point. And now they're starting to walk forward. They can see Kratos standing up there on the little wooden platform. And what? Screwball pops. Even though you can see the enemy is clearly at the other side of the yard, and they're just going to be able to jump away. That was a wasted Uber.
I blamed Zini for that. I think he saw the sniper dot of Zini and panicked. It doesn't matter though, because both soldiers are going to be going down on the middle point, and Zini going down as well. So Danger Dogs, they lose middle, even though Planet Express popped all the way back on their own second. So a bit of a misplay by Danger Dogs there.
Must have been the sniper threat, you're right. So I'll let him off for that one. They did manage to get a couple of frags as well throughout all that, as their shoulders just went balls deep. Sheepy as well on a 2k. But Mickey continues to go forward. He's gone down here, and Skeech has overcharge. I think that means he's going to respawn a spy in 9 seconds, but I've been wrong before. Danger Dogs working their way forward quite slowly here, but they have to be aware that they're still losing by a round. There's 10 minutes left, but Granary, it could be slow at times. Screwball's playing a dangerous game here. Actually, he's got his charge up. I take it back. They're ready to defend right now, but it's going to be Uber traded here. There are lots of players being thrown in to this right-hand side, but there's only so much Uber Screwball can dole out. And Kalu jumps in and kills off Mookie, but he's going to be avenged there by Neo, who finds another frag onto Sini. And as long as this fight just ends up about equal in middle, it's going to work out well for Planet Express. Those spawns coming in, but they actually managed to clean up there. Neo ends up with a 4k, and Skee's last man alive is going to be gunned down
Okay. Kratos gets launched across point, ends up on the enemy catwalk, jumps onto the crates, gets a perfect flank on 4 players of Planet Express, only manages to kill Screwball. I mean, come on, Kratos, step it up. That's all I'm saying. But once again, Danger Dogs are defending last. They've picked up the sniper rifle from Tsini, looking to try and edge open that left-hand door, or when anyone edges open that left-hand door, he's going to try and go for a frag from his position on the left-hand concrete blocks.
Screwball running crits, man.
See, we've seen quite a bit of crits this game, actually. More so than I think I've seen in quite a few seasons of Prem. Mookie is going to be the first to die. Gets caught out by Zoob and Skeet. The crits comes out now, but he gets instantly headshot before he can even pop that crit sticky. And now the crits comes out from Tommy, though. He takes down Zoob and Skeet, and now takes down Kratos as well. Tommy gets himself a 4K. The sentry gun's alive, but CP just hides behind the pillar, doesn't take any damage from it, and caps the point. Planet Express, easy round for them. Tommy going ham there.
Yeah, I thought that was looking disastrous with the crits. They'd already lost Mookie, their distraction player up top. They went for it anyway, and Eek got edged up, but then the scouts with the cleanup. I think Tommy was like on 8 kills in that life. Onto this mid though, Kratos picked up the kit, but he takes a sticky at the same time. He's half health here. He's very liable to being pressured right now. He's had to move towards the left-hand side, but no one's going to take advantage of that. Eek winning that early Demo Man duel, but both teams just setting up the aggression. Zoob jumps in, but then spirals back to his own kit. And now we see Kratos walking forward, trying to spam that high ground. Eek goes down to Tonmas, but Sheepy finds Sini, and with these superior scout numbers, it could be a nice opportunity for it to clean up here for Planet Express, but Screwball gets rushed down by Tonmas. It still looks good for Planet Express, though. We do see Skeej, Tonmas, and Kratos retreating, but are they going to contest the point here? I don't think so. That would be madness.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to contest, but they're going to be content to repush as soon as they have themselves 6 players up. Zoob, the last one to respawn, but he's up now, and as soon as they can get themselves find themselves a way in, I think they're just going to push and force Planet Express all the way back.
Mookie,
I'm going to be watching, Mookie. We've been told by David to watch Mookie, so let's see if he's going to be able to get anything done. He jumps down, sort of jumps around, so the rest of Planet Express not really doing much at the moment, just sort of trying to spam choke points away. Not much happening. Now in come Danger Dogs. They're trying to do as much damage as possible. Mookie goes in for the big jump, hits Skeets with a double rocket. Nice sink by him to drop him down. Mookie trades his life, but gets the big drop on Medic onto Skeets. Poor old Skeets. That's 3 drops to Mookie this map alone. Big plays by him, but Planet Express do have to give up the map in the middle because they do not have Uber advantage.
Screwball sitting here with 100%. They're just trying to clean up the aggressive scout that is Tonmas, but he's actually going to win that fight. Sini popping off some shots from the other side of the map as well, but both scouts end up going down there. They were probably should have been their soldiers looking to go in there for the force, but Danger Dogs just regrouping on middle here. They're still 2 rounds down. 6 minutes left on the clock, and they're at a big Uber disadvantage. They've got no scouts up. But what? Kalu just goes in and drops Screwball with the solo bomb. He doesn't need any help. I think Kratos was spamming pipes over there at the same time, but Kalu kills off Screwball. So both medics dropping some real clangers here, and things going back and forth. It's turned on a dime again here as Danger Dogs, they're streaming forward here, already into the yard. The respawn Sini and Tonmas poking ahead here, trying to see what they can see. They're starting to put some time on that cap, but it's only Mookie who's even bothering to contest here. He's spamming from up top. Tommy's starting to come in with a buff. They've tried to edge as much time as possible, but they need health here. Skeet is only on middle right now. They're going to have to regroup, get those buffs out, and then try and push their way forward, but the clock continues to tick down. 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Can Danger Dogs do it? Are we going to a 3rd map, Ryushi?
I'm thinking it's looking pretty damn likely at the moment, but of course it is all down to how Danger Dogs play and how Planet Express to not mess up. But there's going to be just content to hold on to the 2nd point. Both teams building as heavy as possible. Scrooby is going to have a slight advantage, but it's only very small. And now, actually with Mookie getting picked off in the drop down area, they're going to have themselves a man advantage. They're coming through the top. There is going to be a sticky trap there though, so if anyone tries to commit, he is going to go down pretty quickly. But now in comes Sheepy. Does so much damage to Kalho, who's on the lower ground. But it doesn't matter because the rest of the team do push in now. Both Ubers get popped off. The red do have the high ground. Zoob and Skeet, they're going to have to back themselves away. They know they don't have too much health. Zoob tries to jump onto a health pack, misses that though, unfortunately. Not quite sure that that's what he really wanted to do there. And he does go down, but now frags happening all over the place. 3 down, 4 Danger Dogs. Skeet gets the frag to screw me. What? That is going to be huge. But now he gets trapped in alone, piped down by Eek, and Planet Express find themselves with a big man advantage. There is going to be the Zoob and Calho left alive. Calho jumping himself away back onto middle, though, trying to do as much damage as possible. No, just trying to make it away as with his life and join up with the rest of his team. Skeej respawns now, but 4 minutes left on the clock. 2 rounds down. Game is on Danger Dogs.
I kind of have to point the finger of blame at Skeej there for that field push, because he didn't actually Uber on Zoob until Zoob had like 6 health left. So even though he had the full Uber, by the time the Uber faded, he was only at about 200. So I had that 300 at the bottom. And Skeej had been able to heal other people during the Uber. Like Planet Express could have taken that, or sorry, Danger Dogs could have taken that one, but like his teammates were weak, Zoob was weak. It was kind of the worst case scenario for that Uber trade. He did get the med pick though, so kind of redeemed himself a little bit, but if he just popped earlier they would have had a much better chance to take that fight. But it is still Planet Express 3-1 in the lead here. 3 minutes left on the clock, but a crits is coming in, surprise! Uber comes out immediately from Screwball though, but Kratos has already killed off Eek and Tommy. And the crits has paid dividends. Neo's trying to contest there from Z. Screwball's looking to escape up top. Sheepy's just popping off a few shots there. Neo's still alive though on the flank. They're just trying to buy time, 3 seconds before the respawn comes in. But Kratos is already jumping in onto the pipe. He's being pressured by Sheepy. Callow's trying to contest him. He's putting time on the point as well, but Eek's here as well. Have Danger Dogs committed too soon to the point? They're getting smashed here. What were they thinking?
Too soon to commit. Thomas gets a frag onto Tommy, but trades his life away now with the team going down as well. Zoob, can he find any frags? Gets Mookie. Can he get anything more? That's Medic. Screwball, he does get Screwball before he dies. Kratos, the only one to respawn, trying to make it into second point to defend, but he's only got 60 HP. Some big plays by Zoob to get the 2 frags right at the end to stop Planet Express from pushing. Big plays by Zoob.
That was bizarre. Zoob manages to get the med pick right at the end there. Screwball should be upset. Mookie is going to respawn on Spy, and Skeej is still rocking that crits. He knows he has to force the issue here. 2 minutes left, and they are 2 rounds down. Sini's going to poke in from the left hand side. He sees the sentry as well, so they already have an idea of what they're facing off against. He also sees Mookie playing sniper now, not Spy anymore. He was probably just checking to see if Skeej was running crits, and they do know that. So here comes Zoob with the distraction, Kratos with the crits. His first sticky's no good, his second is being reflected by Sheepy. He's getting stuffed in there. And just as the crits fades, they only find that pyro pick. Mookie domes Zoob. Goes down, so no damage for Planet Express. They need that damage on and it's not there. Danger Dogs just going to be able to strong arm the point, and now it's a 1 round game. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. Skeej, he's sticking with crits, man. He's going all the way.
That's just enough time, but they have to play this perfectly. It is all down to how Danger Dogs play this middle. As you say, they've got the Crits Krieg. It's going to be going up against... I'm fairly certain that that is a Medigun from Scrooby. In fact, Planet Express not even going to contest. They don't even want to do this. They're just going to allow the middle to be capped for free and try and force Danger Dogs to push into them with a bit of a disadvantage, but do they know the Crits Krieg is up? It's going to be 60% or 70% up for Skeej now. They're trying to push their way forward. Actually going to be a ton of damage. Skeej goes down though to Eek's sticky trap there, and now Dogs have to push themselves as far forward as possible. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm so excited, Admirable.
It's huge. That's the crucial sticky trap, and he died like a second after that. Skeej ends up not getting his charging time, or maybe he had the crits and he dropped it, but either way, the main force of Danger Dog's attack has been totally neutralized with that deft right click from Eek. Huge place at a critical moment, and everyone just gets shredded there in the garage. Sheepy and Tommy doing work, and that's going to be it, man. There's only 10 seconds left. We're going to a 3rd map here in this quarterfinal of the Challengers Cup, hosted by Team Fortress TV. What a game. It's going to be Gully Wash coming up next, but before then, we'll take a look at the logs, right?
Absolutely.
I'm already feeling good things about Sheepy's stats, but Screwball actually ends up producing a century game there. He's got 100 points on the scoreboard. I guess it was all those crit shenanigans. But both medics rocking the crits as well. I'm going to be interested to see how this medic matchup looks in the logs, considering that it seemed to be Skeege dominating things last time.
Yeah, that's I'm looking at the logs right now, and that is definitely changed. Unfortunately for Skeege.
4 drops, Skeege.
Yeah, that's the stat.
He's trying to challenge my legacy, you know. Please, Skeege. 1 drop for Screwball. I'm sure some of those were crits drops, so they don't even count, man. But yeah, it was a changed game there. Like, the dynamic had shifted. It was 4 mids to 2 in favor of Planet Express. Clearly, Dog's not so confident on Granary. But all the stats favoring Planet Express. More frags, more dams, more Ubers. And looking at the individual player stats, Sheepy storming ahead there. 37 frags, 11 assists, and 11 deaths, giving him a kill assist to death ratio of 4.4. Topping the stats all around here. A pretty incredible performance there from Sheepy.
Top damaging over everyone in the game as well, even if it's only by a little bit. Zub and Kratos rounding up the damage numbers for the top numbers, for the top 3. But I mean, it's
look at some of the other stats
huge
there.
By Sheepy.
Eek is like, he's getting pooped on. He only does 200 DPM. Only managed to get 11 frags for 18 deaths, but I guess he was setting up the frags for Sheepy. That's the explanation I'm going to go for. Tommy as well, not really looking too impressive on the stats. 150 DPM on Scout, that's like something I would do in TF2 Center. Sheepy, he's been carrying hard here, man. He's going to need to stretch his back out there, man. Ugh.
If he can keep it up, then, you know, there's a good chance that Planet Express have got themselves a 3rd map. I mean, if Sheepy can keep it up, I know he's in chat at the moment, and quite a few members of Planet Express are as well.
He had a lot of heals as well, actually, looking at it. 20% of the heals going to Sheepy, but he made it pay, man. And just interesting to note, like, the difference in the scouts, because like Granary is that one map, that 1 5 CP map where you have to think differently as a scout. A lot of scouts just hate it because they can't adapt, but Sheepy putting on a bit of a masterclass there. But Tonmas and Cini, kind of, you know, the rookie scouts here, really struggling. Like, there was a lot of times where they were running ahead, trying to challenge soldiers through roller doors and things like that. Sometimes it worked out, like the moment where Tonmas went huge on second. But I mean, I think they need to review that demo, watch what Sheepy was doing, try and emulate it. Stay alive more often, scouts. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, they weren't even dying that much actually. The 3 most the 3 most deaths on the map were Mookie, Calho, and Zub. So Mookie doing a lot of work for his team as well. With 3, I think he got 3 drops onto Skeege, and then Eek getting the final one with that crit screek drop. But Mookie doing a ton of work in terms of his team, but not his stats not really showing it because of course he did get 2 spy frags, 2 spy drops in fact.
Yeah, like they didn't die more than the soldiers, but compared to the enemy scouts, like they're almost dying twice as much. Not quite. But I mean, if you stay alive as scout on Granary and allow your soldiers, your demo man, etc. to set the frags up for you, it can be really easy to get the cleanup. But if you just try and run in and take these 1v1s or 1v4s, whatever, you're going to struggle. I mean, it's all about timing. It's about choosing when to take the right fights. And it's a punishing map for scouts, but it's definitely not impossible to play well on Granary as scout. But we are going to go to Gollywash. If you have just joined us here, it is the Challengers Cup, hosted by teamfortress.tv. This is Admirable. Got Ryushi with me on the mic and DavidTheWin on the camera. It's still the quarterfinals here because these are best of 3s we're playing, and this one, it's going to go the distance. But all these teams playing here are just looking for that chance to make it into the invite portion of the cup. That bracket is going to be starting next Sunday, I believe. And that is where, you know, you get a shot at the money. $1,500 stumped up by Razor. It's all been run through the Razor Arena. If you haven't even played on that yet, you should get involved. You can even make your own cups there, you know, like Buttnose and TF2 Pickup. teamfortress.net did. They ran that Open Cup a few weeks ago. Anything you want to do, man, support these guys, support Gaming Grids. Shout out to Delusive, shout out to Buttnose and Sideshow for doing a lot of the organisational work behind this cup as well.
Yeah, we are, of course, not the only stream casting the Challengers Cup. There is going to be Twiggy and Beta over on TFTV too, although, as far as I can tell from looking at Mumble, I think they've finished their game. That was between the Russian Mix and Onage Squad, was that right? I think that's right.
Yeah, or whatever they're being called in the cup. They're using alternate names. I didn't know Beta was casting without arcs these days. That's interesting.
No, Beta. Beta the Dane.
Classic name shenanigans. Yeah, MSH +6 is the team you see in the ETFL Premiership called Serpent. And let me actually just take a look here. I'm going to refresh some of the scores, man. You fill some time there, Ryushi, as I navigate this site.
Fair enough then. So obviously, of course, we're going forward into this third map, which is going to be a gully wash. Both teams almost on the map. I think what's going to be key is seeing how individual players play. Obviously, Sheepy went huge on the last map. If he's able to do the same thing again, I think that's going to be key. Another one to watch will be Eek. Eek getting completely destroyed on Granary. Doing a bit of damage, but not really able to finish up much. Not really able to do much damage or kills.
Do you want an
himself a quick pick. No, I'm monologuing now. Hang on. Give me a minute. Eek is going to be one to watch. See if he can actually match up to Kratos. And I think also the soldiers for Danger Dogs are going to be key to watch. See what Zub and Calho can do together. So yeah, let's go for your update then, Admirable.
Okay, here is how it stands. Looking at the other games in this round, I don't want to hear any spoilers. Cover your ears now. But Serpent, they managed to kill off the only squad there. We're playing as Blue Heavy Esports. It was 2-0. It's over. Also, Force Kings actually ended up forfeiting to Lego. We heard they were having trouble putting a team together. The scores for the Russians, they won Process 5-2, and they took Granary 3-2. So they didn't manage to cap out. They were clearly given a contest there, but they have emerged victorious. I'm going to take a look at the other game, Kritzberg for defense, playing off against Gamshaga. The score so far there, it's gone to the third map as well. Maybe our friends on teamfortress.tv 2 are casting that one. But Process went 2-1 to the Poles, Kritzberg, and then they lost Granary 4-1. So they're going to play Gully Wash right now as well. It's all going off, Ryushi. What a cup.
Absolutely. Fantastic. This is, of course, only the playoffs, right, to get a couple of teams seeded and into the main bracket, right? I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, so even though they need 4 teams, I think they're going to play the full bracket here. We're going to have finals and bronze finals, I'm guessing. Looking at the brackets here on the Razor site, so we can actually seed the teams as well. We don't just have 4, but we have them in some sort of an order. So already set up the next round, it's going to be Serpent, aka MSH +6, against Lego. And that's supposed to be starting in 2 minutes time. So we might be missing one of the semi-finals then. Maybe they'll wait for us, I don't know. David tells us that they're probably going to cover that semi-final on Team Fortress TV 2 then, but we're going to stick here with this final round or final map of this best of 3 here in the quarterfinals. I've had an update on Steam there as well, Ryushi. Dr. Phil is telling us it's not Eek. It's
I've been moaned at in Twitch chat for pronouncing it wrong apparently.
Oh, Seppi also messaging me the same thing as well. I've just been copying you, Ryushi. I trust you.
I was copying you.
Come on, buddy. Don't throw me under the bus.
It's all my fault as usual.
Okay, thanks for being honest there, Ryushi. I'm just a simple Irishman. I don't understand. I'm an uncultured swine. But yeah, EQ, as we now know, the correct pronunciation is the Planet Express demo man. And he produced a delightful sticky kill onto skis there right at the end of Granary that allowed Planet Express to maintain their 3-2 lead and take us into Gully Wash here. Those previous maps, they didn't even matter, Ryushi. It's all down to Gully Wash. This is it. This is where the tournament progression will be decided. It's single elimination.
Okay, so David just updated us on what's happening. So it's going to be... Are we going to... No. TFTV2 are covering the semi that's going to be happening at the moment between the Russian team and Lego. And we are going to be carrying on from this game when it's finished between the winner of this game versus the winner of Kritzberg and Gamziaga. So that hasn't been updated on the bracket website, so I don't know who we're going to be watching play. And obviously, we don't know the winner of this game because this map is, as you say, the decider. It's all down to whoever wins on this. Both teams not quite ready yet. Danger Dogs, however, have readied up in chat. So it's all of Danger Dogs. I think we're just waiting once again on Planet Express to ready themselves up and get going for this third map. I had to really think about that then.
The underscore sideshow guy, he's been requesting mod as well in Twitch chat. I think he I'm prepared to put it to a public vote here. If you want to see the underscore sideshow being made a mod of the Team Fortress TV Twitch chat, please paste in a fish emote there. Whereas if you want sideshow not to receive mod rights, please put in a not like this. And I will, again, use my Rain Man-esque skills of calculating to decide whether or not the underscore sideshow deserves a Moderino. Can he wield that sword or not, Ryushi? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's a big responsibility, and for someone who's obviously abusing power by putting his team in the invite group when they're completely unprepared for it, I think it's too much power for him.
Oh, not like this. Not like this, man. I don't know, man. I'm seeing a lot of people unconvinced that Sideshow is fit for office. What do the actual mods think? I need to see some comment there. Ryushi voting against Sideshow.
I'm voting against Sideshow.
DavidTheWin is shaking his head. Oh, it's just all anti-Sideshow right now. There's a few people, a few Sideshow fanboys there trying to vote for him, but I guess we'll have to put it off for another year then. We'll reevaluate your application to become mod 1 year from now. Mark that down in your calendar, Sideshow. It is back and forth though. It's close, man. If only there was some sort of polling system that updated live, like some kind of straw poll. This is tough. Anyway, there's a game at hand here. I'm just checking my Steam messages. Kratos isn't even asking us if they're ready to go yet.
Well, apparently Sheepy's AFK. Apparently doing sheepy things. Not quite sure what that is though.
Hags, mate. He's going to play a quick game of MGE on his alt account. He wants to get warmed up there for the crunch map. I am, I think I'm going to have to favor Planet Express here. They have managed to shift the momentum. They've shown a few weaknesses in the Danger Dog side. Sheepy, he's finding some form here. Sure, the rest of his team weren't entirely impressive, but I feel like Sheepy could just carry them single-handedly to victory. But then at the same time, we're going to see Cine sniping. That could just put an end to that. I don't know, Ryushi. What are you feeling about this one?
I don't know. Mookie was hitting some pretty good headshots there on the on the last point of Badlands. So, Granary. So, things could happen. Don't think he quite matches up to Cine, but yeah. It's going to be close. That's all I'm hoping for, is that it's going to be close.
We just want to put on a show. A good show. I want to see full-time crits from Skeege. See him staying mad. Actually, I probably think that Danger Dogs are going to win. I think Granary was just kind of a map they weren't too confident on, but Gullywash be more like that process we saw in map 1 where they smashed it, eventually taking it 7-2. I don't know, Ryushi. but we will find out shortly as the game has just gone live here. And I want you to take me to the first middle, Ryushi.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's going to be some... I'm going to be watching Mookie because I think Mookie is, like, key. He's been doing some big plays here, and I want to see what he's going to be able to do on this gully wash middle. Going to put some early spam out, keeping a lot of players back for Danger Dogs. Not much else is going to be happening from him at the moment, though. And now blue team, they're just looking to do a little bit of damage. Mookie gets jumped up into the air, and it's going to be the first frag for this map. Zoob quickly following up and going to pick off Neo. So with no soldiers left, Planet Express finding themselves having to back out. EQ going to get caught out there. And with Tommy down as well, Scrooby and Sheepy have to back themselves away and run all the way back to their last. Kratos chasing, but isn't going to commit too far into the respawns. So yeah, Danger Dogs only losing one player there. Some nice middle by them, but the Uber has already gone off on this last point. They're trying to do as much damage as possible. Scrooby is going to go down. He wasn't even close to Uber there. It's big plays by it.
He had like 94 or something, but like, yeah, great read there from Skeege. Knew that they wouldn't quite have that charge because they've been falling back. They went in and they assassinated the enemy medic using that invulnerability. They managed to lose 3 players after that though, so they do have this 30% Uber advantage, but they're gonna have to wait some time before that's built up. And this is the kind of situation where I'd like to see Planet Express at least poke a little bit here, see if there's an easy frag they can get to buy themselves some time, but they seem to be quite content to go for the full turret. They're going to have Tommy playing NG now. He's building that sentry in the corner there at the box, and they also have Mookie briefly playing heavy, now playing sniper. So, you know, it's going to be tough for Skeege here, but he's going to Uber in from main with the scouts, and the sentry gun is going to be able to deflect them, but it's only level 1 right now, and it's being spammed down. It just didn't have enough help there, and the scouts have focused down the blue Devilman. EQ goes down, so there's no protection on the point. Now on the repush they can try and force the issue, but Mookie switches off the sniper to heavy. He's rocking that Tomislav, pretty devastated at that mid-range, and he's just pumping out the damage here. He's on 2 frags right now. He kills off Zoob, Sheepy gets Kratos, and Mookie gets another onto Tonmas, and they've managed to hold on there, and they have a charge. They're ready to go.
Not quite sure what Danger Dogs thought they were doing. All just sort of standing in the same place waiting for heals while they went in one by one against the heavy there. That's never going to work. But now they find themselves being pushed back as Planet Express flood out from that shutter door onto the point. Sheepy is going to pick up Calho, so that is going to give them a frag advantage. And with Sini on this sniper rifle, if Dogs are not careful, then they're going to find themselves losing mid to the numbers of Planet Express. But Planet Express, then actually the Uber's going to come out now. It's going to be onto Sheepy. They're going to be straight Ubering Sheepy through. He tries to get onto Kratos, doesn't do too much damage to him, but knocks him down onto the low ground, thus hindering his movement. Is going to now find him in that elbow. But the Uber came out from behind. What was happening there? Calho and Zoob doing a ton of work from behind, with Skeege Ubering behind Planet Express, and have had to force them back as well. Sheepy and Mookie going to be going down. And now in comes the double soldier bomb from Choke by Danger Dogs. They're going to be trying to do as much damage as possible to Neo. He is going to go down, but not before hitting quite a nice air shot onto one of the scouts there. Doesn't manage to get the frag onto him though. Tommy is going to win the 1v1 versus Zoob. Now tries to get onto Calho, but Calho's got 150 HP. He takes him down with ease in that attic area. And once again, we have a heavy from Mookie up on last.
Yeah, he did some dumb shit again, man. He went heavy, he went drop down as that Uber was happening, the Uber trade, and he tried to flank around with as a heavy from the low ground, but just got shut down. And like, once you start giving away that easy man advantage, like, things start to snowball. It slipped away from them, and they're lucky to be ended up on last year with still having an Uber available. But like, they could have lost just 1 point there, or I mean, they could have even contested second if Mookie had stayed alive, especially as heavy. But he tried to go for these hero plays. I think he's been playing too many lobbies. I don't understand. But Sini is charging up a shot here from main, and he's trying to find a victim with that sniper rifle, but he's going to go back again. He's looking for the medic leg shot. He wants to get that drop onto Screw. Iku's going to peek there as well. They know the sniper's there, but they don't even want to try and pressure him at all. Like, they could easily Uber into lobby here and just, like, absolutely mess up their plays. Like, they're allowing the sniper to take shots at them. They just go in and force the issue. Kalu trying to go in it from main, though. He's, they're not reacting. Eventually he jumps up, but, ooh, he gets one rocket onto Screw before he is shut down there with a big pipe to the face from Iku. And that is going to be enough to intimidate Danger Dogs. They're backing out a little bit here. They don't want to get caught 5 versus 6 in the lobby. They're just trying to maybe induce the push here or bait it out from Planet Express, but it seems like Planet Express' whole strategy with holding last is just to sit there and play with 6 on last. Full turtle. They're going to allow Danger Dogs to come in, and they want them to fail and then re-push off that. But Zini's uncontested here. Doesn't get the shot off. Doesn't connect. It's still Uber versus Uber here, Ryushi.
Yeah, both. I'm not quite sure what Planet Express are waiting for. Eventually, Zini is going to hit a shot, or Sheepy's just going to walk into a sticky trap, allowing Zini to walk in and go for a shot. But now in comes the Uber. They're trying to do as much damage as possible to Mookie before the Uber gets popped out. Don't do enough. And now with Iku picking up Zini over on the balcony area, it looks like Planet Express, they're going to be content to hold once again. They lose an Uber charge, but not much else for that defense. And they're just going to be looking to build up as soon as possible.
This could work well for Skeege. Like, there's a lot of... we've got a heavy here as well. Quite often when you see teams running a heavy, they build slightly slower. So Skeege is building with Tonmas here in lobby. They're going to have Uber slightly before this. And if they just push, like, right on the dot, they could be able to assassinate Screwball again. And they've actually managed to kill off Sheepy. And it looks like they're just going to go. They're going to make a play here, non-Ubered.
It's going to be a level 2 sentry on that right-hand side there. That's going to do a ton of damage to anything jumping in. But there's just going to be so much time on the point from a soldier and a scout. In jumps Neo to try and get to it, but he gets piped down by Kratos. And now Tonmas is going to pick up another frag. So Planet Express, this turtling strat just does not seem to be working for them. The Uber is popped out by Screwball at the right and at the very last second, but it doesn't matter. Dogs have too many players on the point. They bump off the point and cap it out right there. So that was just some weird turtling there by Planet Express. They didn't have really any advantage. They just wanted to turtle and stay on last.
Sheepy, like, again, down there, he just gives them the excuse to push, and Planet Express, or sorry, Danger Dogs managed to come up with a nice execution there, playing the point, forcing the heads to turn around. But onto this mid fight though, it's going to be Tonmas onto Sheepy as Kratos kills off Eek. It's looking good here for Danger Dogs to just trying to gain control of their own choke right now. Neo's going to bomb in. I think he was hoping to find Skeege there, but Skeege comes just slightly later from the elbow, and that's a complete wipe. Tonmas on a 3k, racking him up right there. And they're able to move forward here onto second uncontested. They're going to be able to get this capped and then wait for the reinforcements, but a huge Uber advantage here for Skeege, 70%. Tommy going to respawn and start beating away on that sentry gun. It should be level 3 by the time the push comes in. We also have Mookie on Pyro. I could see Planet Express holding this one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different hold to the one they tried last time. I think it's down to whether or not Sheepy gets caught out in lobby once again, because realistically, if he gets caught out, then things are going to happen. But the Uber comes in from that right hand side, gets completely denied by Mookie's Pyro. Now it comes in as well. The sentry defending against that Uber. In jumps Zoob, trying to get onto the point. Not much is happening at the moment. Kaho's going to find himself in front of everyone. Tries to get a rocket. It does kill Skeege. Kills himself. A few players there, and Dogs are going to get that second point. Where did Kaho come from?
He was in the lobby, and he didn't even have 200 health. He just jumps in, finds a 2k immediately, then finds 2 more frags on Tommy and Screwball there once he hooked up with Skeege. And I think he stole the frags basically from the scouts, but just bizarre timing there. Comes in and gets 4 frags, no problem. 2-0 Danger Dogs here, and they are accelerating into the lead. Tommy's going to roll out a sniper though. Domsini onto middle, and we see Danger Dogs looking very scared right now. They've already lost 5 players. They didn't know what to do. Tonmas, last man alive, is going to be able to kill off Iku, but that decision from Tommy to run sniper to middle and actually hit a shot just totally spooked Danger Dogs there, man. They don't like loud noises.
Absolutely. Tsini has spawned on the sniper rifle, so I think Dogs are going to be looking to defend. This is the first time we've seen them defending on this map so far, and it does not look like as much of a turtle lineup as the Planet Express lineup. They do have themselves a Pyro there because they know they've got a big disadvantage, and if Tonmas can completely decimate that Uber and not allow it even into the point, then Danger Dogs are going to find themselves in a fairly good position to defend. Actually, I say that, they've also picked up Zoob on that heavy roll, so they really love these off classes for this point, but it is going to be going down. Kaho actually gets the first frag onto Sheepy, getting dropped by Screw B there, and now big place by Tonmas to keep Screwball out of the point. Now the rest of the players from Planet Express are just getting cleaned up. The only one to die for the Dogs is going to be Tsini, but Mookie, the last one left alive, he gets piped down by Kratos, and now Danger Dogs, they lose 1 player for that. That was going to be their engineer or sniper of Tsini, or whatever he was playing at the last second. And they lose basically nothing for it. Ski just got himself a 70% Uber advantage.
Yeah, great job by Tonmas. Like, he airblasts the medic back, then tries to separate the demo man by pushing him further into the point, and single-handedly denied that Uber charge. His teammates were there ready to clean up, and they did that with aplomb. Now Skeege poised to come in. He's at choke right now. Are they going to go drop down, or are they going to try and walk through the choke here? They're going to be facing against Tommy on Sniper, and it seems like they're just going to walk in. There's stickies in this pillar though. Skeege drops! The sticky there from Kratos just sends all the stickies through the air just in front of Skeege's face. At that point, he knew he was fucked. Skeege gave their Uber drop. His teammates are trying to go in here and make something happen, but it's just Mickey with the cleanup here on the Tomislav, man. Perfect opportunity to kill off all these unhealed players.
I think
Skeege.
I think Mookie's actually played more heavy this map than he has played Soldier. So obviously this is the new meta for Gullywash from Planet Express, bringing out the heavy permanently from Mookie, just walking forward, spun up with that Tomislav, just taking ground bit by bit. But now in comes Uber. It's going to be on a Soldier and a Scout. Sheepy and Neo instantly take down Sini. Now they're trying to get on. They force red players back into spawn. There's going to be a Soldier in that creepy area, but he goes down, and now actually frags happening all over the point. Skeege and Thomas, the only ones left alive, and they're not going to be able to defend the point as Planet Express get themselves their first rounds on the board, Admirable.
Indeed. Skeege with the big drop there. I guess he was scared of the sniper, you know, but forgot his kind of medic fundamentals. Stickies on the pillar. Walked too close to it, but just the way they all got lunched at the same time. That was heartbreaking. But anyway, we're on to the fourth mid here. And Danger Dog's lead is being eroded. It's 2-1 as Iku finds the pick onto Zub there. Sini gonna join him, but Kalu and Kratos trying their hardest to do work here, but these mids coming out from Planet Express the last few rounds have been devastating. Skeege is thinking of going for heroic plays through the drop down, but realizes he's the last man alive. He's gonna hit his kill bind, and he's not gonna be up for another 12 seconds here, so we will see Planet Express rolling forward. Gonna be able to take this CP2/4 without any contest, and it'll be up to Tonmas to try and produce the heroic hold on last again. He is playing that pyro.
Yeah, well, he managed it last time, managed to completely separate Screwbeat from the rest of his team, so if he can manage that once again, then Dogs have got themselves a pretty good chance to defend this. But it is all up to Planet Express how they push. They're looking like they want to come in through that lower roll once again. That was where they got destroyed last time. There's going to be a scout in from, but instantly the pyro jumps down. It's getting shot at by Sheepy though. Thomas does go down this time, and now Calho going down as well. Tsini falling afterwards, Zub as well. And at this point, it's just getting capped out. Dogs just getting completely crumbling before the might of that Uber. Everyone just falling from them, and they were ready for Thomas this time. He didn't drop Sheepy on entrance, and that is just huge.
Skeeze did a good job with surviving there, but like his teammates, they're taking fights with the vulnerable people, man. They should have been trying to kite that a bit better, but it is tied up here, and we're gonna love that as fans of the game. We got a fair fight here in middle with 17 minutes remaining, and we do have a sniper from Tommy again, but he hasn't got a frag instantly, and now he's being pressured by Neo. So that's Sini playing sniper as well. Oh, dual sniper. Tommy goes down to Calho. Tonmas finds Mookie, and it's looking like this change up from Danger Dogs, or maybe from both sides running the sniper, as I change the dynamic middle. But just as I say that, Sini reappears. He's trying to keep Skeege alive. Skeege doesn't even need his help though. Whips out the crossbow and finishes off Sheepy. But here comes the bomb in from Neo. Skeege, but Sini with the headshot to keep Skeege in the game. And it's both medics have survived this, but no one's even capped middle yet. This is bizarre.
Well, it's going to be a repush from Danger Dogs. They're here first. Now with Kratos getting on the point, they're going to try and up out. In fact, yeah, no. Planet Express don't even want to push. They know they've got big disadvantage. They don't want to get anywhere near it, and they're happy to hold at their choke and try and wait for Mookie to get a pick. He's picked up the sniper rifle, so we've seen multiple players from both teams really play that sniper role. I think Tsini, Mookie, and Tommy all running that sniper rifle. Tsini, however, is going to get the upper hand there onto Mookie as he just peeks around the corner and insta headshots him. And that, I think, is going to give a massive opening for the Dogs team as they're coming through the flank. Sheepy going down now, so that's 2 down for Planet Express. And surely they're going to have to back out. Ski just milking this for so long, does eventually manage to pop that off, almost dropping because Tommy came in from behind with a big flank, but Skeege, balls of steel, manages to get it off just at the right time. EQ going down now as well. Scrooby and Mookie, the only ones left alive. Mookie's on that engineer. and they're all the way back to last. So Dogs looking to push forward once again. They've got a slight advantage, but I don't think they're going to wait for the Uber to get up. They're coming straight in. Sentry gun already down from Mookie. Now the heavy comes out from him once again, but there's players on the point. It's going to be Calho doing so much time on the point. No one's even coming down. No one dropped down to get to him. Mookie tried, Neo tried, but got blasted back up by the sticks of Kratos there. And that's just an easy round for easy last point for Danger Dogs.
Yeah, really making use of the fact that Iku was down there. He got picked off, really outstayed his welcome on choke on second. They just went straight for that point. Here we go though, middle, number 6, Calho straight into Iku's face. He's just about going to get that Demo Man pick. And that should signal Planet Express to leave middle immediately. Screwball's trying to escape, but his players seem to be finding the frags. Here comes Mookie on the rebound. Tommy trying to come up there as well, but both of them dealt with excellent there by the combination of Zub and Kratos. Zub does have to pay for it with his life, but they've managed to keep Skeege alive. They're going to be able to take control of the point here as well. And they're building that uber rapidly. They're going to be able to push as soon as those respawns come in. And Danger Dogs, man, they may be able to make it 4-2.
Yeah, they're looking to press their advantage. There is still about 14 minutes left on the clock, so plenty of time for either team to get themselves a ton of rounds on the board. But in comes the Danger Dogs from the choke point, being spammed out a little bit by the pipes, but they wait for those to fade, and now they're coming in, looking to try and get in. But there's 4 players from Planet Express in that top lobby with a heavy as well, so it's going to be able to deny any jumpers that try to get up in and into Scrooby's face. In comes a soldier. The Uber actually gets popped off really early by Scrooby there, trying to get on to the medic of Skeege, but he does not manage to get the Uber off in time. Skeege popping, not able to save Kratos, and now with the flank falling from Danger Dogs, the remaining 3 players have to back themselves away. Planet Express, a nice hold by them. Not quite sure how that worked out for them, but it does manage to take them midpoint.
Big Sheepy killing off Kratos before he could be Ubered. It was already looking grim there, and with like that big source of damage missing, the heavy was going to be even more powerful. Mookie's still rocking this Tomislav. He and Sheepy beating out Tonmas there on choke. Mookie's trapped in the corner though, but he's distracted the combo for so long that here we see Planet Express is able to walk in uncontested from Big Door. They've got Skeege and Zoop just pinned in at the rock there, and it's going to be an absolute slaughter. And they were just too focused on trying to kill off Mookie. I think the communication is kind of poor on both teams. Like, that's twice we've seen on different sides. Like, the flank gets smashed, but the combo not reacting in time. And are Planet Express going to throw this by continuing to push into the spawn wave? They're going to pop off the charge here. It's all on Sheepy and Tomley to find big frags right now. Screwball is thinking this was a bad idea. He's starting to run out as both his scouts' bodies hit the floor. And they're going to have to take up a more defensive position here. But they decided to go to Big Door. You can't really do much from Big Door. Like, if you've already backed out there, it's so easy for the defenders to spam. Like, if they'd gone choke, they might be able to contest this one with the spawns, but they've just given up control of the point altogether. And now they're going to look to take the fight here at the choke on middle. But Zoop's just walking in. It's Finn versus Finn here as Zoop goes up against Mookie, but both soldiers end up losing their lives. And Planet Express find themselves 3-on-3 here, but Tommy is playing sniper from Big Door. He could really abuse the fact that there are only 3 players up right now. They're going to rotate the heals around here, so Screwball, Iku and Tommy not going to go from Big Door. Oh my god. Did they not realise that there's 3-2 down? You can use a sniper to try and shoot people who are forced to cap the point. Would that not have been a good opportunity, Ryushi?
It would have been, but Mookie's still running this heavy. He is not content with even thinking about switching onto Soldier. And realistically, oh, that's going to be big. Tommy finds the headshot onto Zoob. That allows the heavy of Mookie to just walk in, shoot some sticks down, and walk in through the choke point. 5 players from Danger Dogs, all focused on the choke point, but there's no flank to come in from Planet Express. No one even manages to peek around that Big Door. Now finally a soldier is going to come in, and it's just going to be in time. Skeege is caught out behind. Is going to try and duel Tommy for that sniper duel. It's going to win as Sini comes in to save his life. Frags happening all over the place. Skeege does manage to make it out alive. Is Screwball also making it out alive? But I'm just completely lost. Everything is just like, what? How did Mookie survive for so long? He's still alive.
Big arrows. He's working his way forward here. Screwball continuing to dole out the heals. He's popping shots at Kratos. He's up there on the balcony. Scroob with the continued advantage here. Still got 80%, or sorry, 30% over Skeege. He's about to get his charge, and it looks like they're going to go lower. And the defensive setup here is just cookie cutter from Skeege. He feels confident he's going to get his charge in time, but he hasn't got it just yet. They're pressuring hard. They're looking for that pick. Force them back into spawn. Now they're going to play the point here. They've got ×4 on the point. Nobody's going to be able to block it in time. Well executed push from Planet Express. Doing exactly what you need to do when they just retreat into spawn. Play that point. Nobody was there in time. And the stickies of Kratos couldn't yield any frags. They weren't able to block. Well played, Planet Express. 3-3, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we come up to our 7th middle of the game. Kratos once again rolling out choke. But it looks like Planet Express, once again, they're going to do the same thing. In jumps Mookie. It's going to get instantly shut down by the combined scatterguns of Thomas and Sini. Neo, however, is going to pick up Zub on that counter play. Tommy running the sniper rifle once again to this middle. We don't see any heavies yet, but I'm thinking it's going to be popped out soon enough because it looks like Danger Dogs, they're cleaning up everyone else. Tommy, the only one left alive, and he's getting chased out, is going to get killed by the bleed from Thomas. And so Danger Dogs, they win themselves middle. They're probably going to get second as well, although they don't have anyone near it at the moment. All content to just back up and cap the midpoint. But yeah, so once again we find Mookie on heavy. This is a pretty familiar situation, Admirable.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy has been continuing to run sniper on middle there. He's just demonstrated that it's a great strategy if you can hit shots, but that time he didn't hit much and his team just got picked apart there by the superior numbers. He was essentially like a man down there in middle. Skeege with the big 60% advantage, just encouraging his team down Riverside. There's a sentry gun on the point this time. Zub's going to jump in. He sees it there. He just stands in the ring and spams those rockets down. Sentry down. Sini kills off Mookie from underneath, and now they're trying to play the point here. The heavy Tommy doing work on the point, just making sure they don't lose the cap. And it seems like Iku with the big plays there, killing off Skeege right at the end. Solid defense, but now it's all on Tommy and Screw. Oh, we get Saber just as his heavy dies. Screwball gonna be able to pop off and flash Mookie as well here. He's trying to clean up Zub. Can he kill him? He is gonna be able to kill him. Mookie with the heavenly spawn there, just coming in the nick of time.
I don't even know anymore. They're just beefed pushes one after the other. It's just not happening. Planet Express now coming out top. They're going to try and find as many frags as possible, do a ton of damage, but in jumps a soldier on to the combo, but Calho does not manage to find anything and just goes instantly down. Now there's going to be Scrooby dancing around on the point with Thomas for so long. Thomas eventually does find the frag, but does trade his life away. Now with 3 players down, 4 Danger Dogs, they back themselves away, but Skeege is alive and he needs to stay alive to keep that 70% Uber advantage that he has right now. Planet Express are not looking to push though. There is going to be a soldier coming in from underneath. Neo has just been spotted by Kratos. Does go for the 2 rockets onto Skeege, but misses the second one as Skeege surfs it away through the choke point. Now Danger Dogs have found themselves with a 1-man advantage onto this middle point. They know they've got a huge Uber advantage as Scrooby only just started building. And so now they're looking to push in through that big doors area. It's going to be into the sniper rifle of Tommy though, but doesn't manage to hit any shots. Mookie now going down, and this should be an easy second point for Danger Dogs as the rest of the combo look to push into last with this massive Uber advantage. They're going to come in straight away, popping off onto the soldier and onto the scout, trying to do as much damage as possible to everything. Kratos actually gets dropped though. That is not the frag they were looking for. And now with the heavy out once again, there's going to be so many players from blue onto respawn. They're just going in one by one, and Danger Dogs are just getting minced by the respawning players of Planet Express there.
Yeah, Tommy managed to just emerge from spawn as the scatter guns were being emptied there by Planet Express, or by Danger Dogs, and cleaned up a lot of that scout threat. They probably should have tried to play the point as Planet Express had done previously. Mookie hiding above the choke point here, looking to get the pick onto Skeege, but actually dumps a load of rockets into Kratos and ends up just cratering there as it gets launched backwards towards the rock. But his teammates are going to continue to push here with this Uber charge. They need to find a frag, and they do immediately kill off Zini. That's even things up to make it a 5-on-5 here, and Danger Dog is going to show them a lot of respect and just back out. Iku playing a dangerous game with Kratos, but he's got Zub just standing around the corner. But they're taking their eyes off Cal. A big air shot from Neo. going to send Carlo to the spawn queue, and it seems like both medics have managed to survive for now. Skeech has the advantage, but they only have 3 players here at the minute. Their spawns are coming, but looks like they want to go now with the charge. They're going to take this fight 3 versus 5. They need to find frags. They've already killed off Sheepy. They've got Mookie isolated at the tank, and that's worked out well for them, but there are players behind. Here comes Neo. He's going to bomb in onto Skeech. Skeech with the surf! The second rocket connects, but it's just so far away. It didn't do that much damage, and Skeech manages to keep himself alive there. And dodge enough.
Scrooby managed to get himself a couple of Ubersaw hits onto Zini, who would try to get onto him. So Scrooby actually has a massive Uber advantage coming into this middle point. They managed to get the force off, but they lose Thomas and Zoom for it. And a soldier only just manages to get away through the point. Skeech, they're getting caught out. Now with Kratos down, Danger Dogs are 4 players down. A soldier jumps in, but Calho gets instantly destroyed. Although he does manage to take down Sheepy with the splash damage from his rocket. There's only 1 player left alive. That is Zini in the lobby area. And, I mean, Planet Express, they have themselves a 33% advantage here. Maybe even slightly more, yeah, 45%. They're not waiting, though. Okay, now they're back off. They realise they've still got 4 minutes left on the clock. They don't want to quite push just yet. They want to wait for this Uber advantage and then go in with that. But Danger Dogs, not giving them any respect, come pushing out straight away. EQ is going to manage to take down Kratos on and Thomas though. Zini comes in from behind. Is going to try and take down Tom. Is going to get Tommy, but trades his life away now with only Skeej and Calho alive to defend this point. Calho is going to get the frag onto Neo as he jumps in aggressively, but they're trying to defend this point as much as possible. It's just going to be Skeej trying to run for the point, but he does not make it in time. 4-3 to Planet Express. 3.5 minutes left on the clock. It's all down to Danger Dogs to bring this round, bring the game back to equal once again.
Zub kind of choked there, man. He had a great opportunity to kill off Screwball, but he whiffed a couple of rockets, and it came to now onto this mid though. Mickey tries to jump right, but ends up running into a wooden fence, and already this middle is looking sketchy for Planet Express as they lose their medic immediately to the big bomb in there from Zub.
Mookie's found himself 3 frags though.
The counter bomb from Mookie manages to get 3, including Skeej, and the curse of the caster in full effect there. Back and forth mid in the blink of an eye. Mookie emerges victorious.
Well, you know, I mean, he's been playing heavy a lot, but when he actually picks up the rocket launcher, he can do quite a bit of work with it. As we saw on that middle, Sheepy and Tommy able to clean up from Mookie's damage, and Planet Express win the middle, but Danger Dog's not gonna take that laying down. They're already looking to push in through this big door. Calho trying to find an entrance. He's already in his own banana, so looking to try and find an entrance from there. He's gonna get spammed out, but there's gonna be some soldiers jumping all over the place, trying to do as much damage as possible to the Planet Express team. In comes the double bomb. Calho is going to take down Sheepy. That gives them the entering frag that they want. Thomas tries to get in from behind. Does get shut down by a sniper rifle from Mookie though. But I think Danger Dogs, yes, they are going to be content to take this middle, and Planet Express back themselves away. They only lose 2 though, so it's not the worst thing in the world, and they do still have Mookie sniping on that flank. In comes a soldier, jumping in through choke. That's going to be Zoob, trying to do as much damage as possible, completely ignoring Mookie, who's turned around behind him and just guns him down with the SMG. What is going on? Does he just not notice him?
Total tunnel vision there, man. He was too concerned with the lobby area, wasn't looking. Didn't hear the shot, I guess. But with a man down, it seems like Banger Dogs want to just chill out here for a second, wait for their full complement of 6 players to be back on the field. They're giving out the buffs here. They have you know, one chance really to execute a good push here. 1 round in it. Planet Express leading 4-3. Iku has realised the combo is all a big door, but he's getting pressured hard by Tonmas. In fact, gets dropped there, and this Uber has been popped off after the fact by Screwball. Skeej is coming in looking to clean up. He's now turning his attention to the flank. He's going to go up top on the rock. He's getting bombed though by Neo. Neo can't find the rocket. Skeej just surfs onto the little lip there. And somehow Skeej and Zuber are staying in this fight. Sheepy and Screw all fighting from the low ground. EQ's about to come and join them. They're going to be outnumbered here.
Jumps down.
Oh no! Goal miscommunication there. Now Zub has to go in. He's on the Screwball. We'll get that betting pick. Kratos coming in as well. Kratos versus 2. Runs into a corner and gets piped or sticky down there. I think he killed himself. Sheepy gets credit for the frag though.
But in come Danger Dogs, more Danger Dogs members trying to look forward. They're coming in one by one though into the respawns from Planet Express. They're just going to get cleaned up. Calho in around gets destroyed by Neo, but Zini finds a frag over on the flank. So Now we have equal 5 players on each team. 15 seconds left on the timer. Dogs flooding in to that second point. Can they cap this out and can they get straight into last? They have to be incredibly quick with it. They're already trying to look to push through into that lobby area. 6 seconds left on the clock, and I don't think it's possible anymore. They don't manage to get near the point. There is a heavy on the point anyway, and that is going to be our third map going the way of Planet Express. Did you see that happening, Admirable? Because I didn't.
What an upset. What an upset. The Premiership team here, Danger Dogs of my TFTpickup.net. They have just been undone here in what was an absolutely chaotic game. But I don't know who to credit to. Like, Mookie on the heavy had some bizarre moments, some clutch moments. We've got to look at the logs, man.
We've got to look at the logs. You know who I want to give credit to? I want to give credit to Sheepy. Once again, playing out of his mind. Top fragging over by six frags over the next highest. Second damaging on the board as a scout. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And I also want to say EQ as well. Now that we've started pronouncing his name right, has actually started to put up some big damage numbers, completely out damaging Kratos and completely out fragging Kratos as well, getting double his frags. So, you know, a couple of players from Planet Express really stepping it up this map.
I mean, Danger Dogs are going to be like scratching their heads here because they won 5 out of the 8 middles. Yet they end up losing 4-3. It must have been their executions onto last. Screwball ends up with more charges than Skeege. Actually does a little bit more healing than Skeege as well. So the North American medic school the Duchy. Just trying to, I'm trying to look for a narrative here in this map. It's got to be Sheepy again, yeah, the big carry. Right at the start, when we were doing our predictions, I was flip-flopping, I was like Planet Express, and I was like, no, it doesn't make sense. Surely Danger Dog's going to win, but no, they've been undone. Sheepy too strong, and Mookie with his shenanigans, man, and Iku showing up. But look at Neo's stats, man: 10 for 13 for 25 on pocket.
Actually, I think he was mostly roaming this time around because Mookie played 10 minutes of heavy.
Oh yeah, I guess.
So didn't get as many heals as he normally does. Yeah, Mookie actually managed to get more heals than him this game. But both teams sort of changing things around. I think Planet Express have really changed, considering how they played the first game and how they've played the third game. I think they've really changed their heal priority around as well. EQ actually getting top heals in this. Whereas before, Neo was running shotgun pocket and was getting, 35+% heals.
I've got a request here from Sheepy. He wants to come for an interview. He says he'll behave. So here we go, an impromptu interview with Planet Express's Sheepy, who just overturned the Prem seedings there, the rankings, to take the win across 3 maps against Danger Dogs. Sheepy, you must have expected this one. You've been hatching a plan here, man.
Yeah. Well, we've been working, extremely hard. Like, we're kind of a new team, but we've been practicing a lot, and we've been, going over stuff a lot, and I know this is what hard work can get you. Even though, we aren't a very good team, this is what, team spirit and hard work can get you.
Is the Tomislav, something you've been training with, running that full-time heavy? It's like reminiscent of old school TCM, golden era TCM and Gullywash with their heavy sniper strats. Yeah.
Well, Mookie, he's really good at off-classing, so we just let him do it, and he seems to know when to do it. He's a Highlander player, so he's he knows how to off-class and play the heavy class, and whatever other classes he was playing, I don't even know. But I actually want to give a shout out to our American medic. He played extremely well. Like, if I had to pick a player who played the best out of all of us, I would actually go for our medic.
You've been a little modest there, Sheepy. You've top fragged every map for your team, and in fact, you top fragged on the server for the last 2 maps, I think. What was it after process? You guys got smashed, kind of over 30 minutes. How did you, dig deep there? How did you find what you needed?
Well, after process, we just kept telling each other to just keep the morale up, and not to let that win, let any of us get any of us down, and to just turn it on for the next 2 maps. and I think we did it. You know, I'm very happy with how we played. Like, obviously we did make mistakes, but we're a new team and we're full of inexperienced players. So just it's really good how we played. Like, I know I'm getting like a lot of frags and damage, but really, like, a lot of the team plays around me, and a lot of it is just to, you know, give me space so I can do stuff, because my aim is decent. So if I can get a lot of space, it usually works out quite well for the team. But yeah.
Tell me, what's the setup on your team? Who's calling the shots?
Our medic Screwball and me are calling quite a lot. But so is our demo, EQ, and Neo. We don't really have one main caller. It's kind of just us four. Like, mainly Screwball is, you know, because he's a medic, but I call quite a lot of stuff. And we don't really have one person to call the shots. We all just, if we see an opportunity to call something, we can all just like chip in. We don't really listen to one person over everyone else. And it kind of works out for us pretty well.
You've definitely done enough here to see yourselves into the next round. And your opponent is going to be... Let me refresh this already. It's going to be the Poles, yeah. Kritzberg on defense, DavidTheWin tells us.
Oh.
Have you played against these guys much in practice?
I don't think we have, no. Well, I know we'll try our best. Honestly, I'm happy we made it this far. I'm just really happy we were able to, you know, beat a Prem team
whoa.
in front
Don't
of
do it,
everyone.
man. This isn't your final. You can play. You can get...
Yeah, no, we can beat the Polish guys, definitely.
Well, you're already in. You're already like qualified for the invite bracket. Like, you are one of the top 4 teams now. It's just a matter of sorting out your seeding.
Oh, how did this happen? How did this happen? How are we top 4? What is going on?
Of the remaining teams, though, like, you've got Serpent, the Russian team. You've got Lego with their new revamped roster, and you've got this Polish roster, Kritzberg for defense, and then you've got yourselves, Planet Express. Before this tournament, you know, how would you see those teams stacking up?
We probably wouldn't beat them before this tournament. Like, we were pretty awful when we started out. We were losing to pretty awful teams in PCWs, but we just, you know, we've just been practicing a lot, and now we're actually good. And now I think we actually have a chance of winning this thing, which would be incredible if we actually won it. I think Danger Dogs are one of our hardest teams, and we managed to beat them, so I think we can definitely go on to win the whole thing.
Yeah, I can really, I can hear the belief, man. I can hear the excitement in your voice, and I'm excited to see how you guys do. I know the other semi-final is underway, and that's being casted right now on teamfortress.tv too. That's Serpent, aka MSH +6 versus Lego. But do you know when your game's going to start? Are you going to take a little break, or are you going to get straight into it?
I don't actually know when it's starting.
That must have been grueling, right? You were just playing 3 maps, pretty much 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Nearly 2 hours of TF2.
We really like gave our all this match, so we're going to need some time to, you know, kind of have a break. It was quite it was a tough match.
Tell us a little bit as well, actually, about some of these lesser known players, like Neo, someone who I'm not really aware of. What's his story, man?
I don't know. He's just this guy who wanted to trial for us, and I was kind of just letting people trial, see how good they were. And he's very good at, you know, making space for the team. He plays quite aggressive. Kind of gets, you know, he didn't get the best stats, but, you know, he makes a lot of space, which is kind of what I want. I don't really want someone who just, you know, I'm not going to call out people for playing a certain style, but I don't want a soldier who, you know, plays around himself. We want a pocket who can play aggressive. He knows when to go aggressive most of the time. He's kind of an unknown. Like, we've got a lot of unknown players in this team, but I could see like a lot of potential in them all, and so that's pretty much why I picked them up. And it's kind of proved ourselves today because we just beat a team of, you know, Kratos and Zug and all these top Prem players.
Kratos, top Prem player. Good joke, mate. But you also have Tommy on your team as well. He's another Finn, right?
He's Austrian. Tommy.
Austrian is there is a Finnish Tommy, but it's clearly a different one. It's so confusing right now.
Tommy he's kind of just a mix player. He plays a lot of mixes. He's I don't really know. He hasn't really been in the team before, but he's a good friend of mine. And I know, he had a pretty awful match in process, but we just told him not to worry about it. And I know he was really good the next 2 maps, I think. Again, making space for me. He's the one who I can rely on to, cap the point and watch the flank. He's that kind of scout. So I don't have to do that kind of thing. I can just do what I want.
It's been working, and I wish you good luck in the next round, but I think we probably have another 2 best of 3s to cast here, so we're going to take a quick break so that we can recompose ourselves. Stay with us here on Team Fortress TV for the upcoming semi-final between Kritzberg for defense and Planet Express, or just jump over to Team Fortress TV 2 and watch MSH+6 versus Lego. It's happening right now, but we'll be back after this short break. Stay here.